we do here is go back.
And hopefully we are live. It looks like we are. I can just about see. What is this new layout they've done on the YouTube studio? It is very confusing. Yes, good evening everyone. Mike here, Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To. It is Saturday the, I don't know what day it is, 11th of October 2025. Hopefully you're all having a fantastic weekend. And hopefully you can see and or hear me. Sky says Mike is cold today. Yep, it's yeah, it's a little bit chillier today. We haven't had the heating on at all today. No wood burner, no radiators, nothing. And it's yeah, it's a little bit on the chilly side. It's well, 21.6 degrees Celsius in here because it's not too bad in here. But the rest of the house is about 19 degrees, so it's a little bit on the chilly side for us. Normally it's a little bit warmer than that in the sort of the mid 22s to 24. So yeah, it's feeling a little bit chillier. It isn't too bad. I'll probably lose the coat a little bit later on when we get things warmed up a little bit. So yeah, hopefully you're all having a fantastic weekend. Let's have a look, make sure that everything's working. So this one is clearly working. The overhead, yeah, that seems to be a-okay. Stream desktop, yeah, that seems to be working as well. Fantastic. Everything is working. iWolfman says 17 to 19 is my average. Hey Aletta, hey Nick Barnes, hey Paul Lamont, Skystalker, Rasher, iWolfman, Viali, David Underhill, how you doing? Welly Bob, happy birthday to Welly Bob. Welly Bob is, well hopefully you won't mind me saying, but whatever. Welly Bob is today Heinz years old. Some of you will understand that. If you do, put it in the chat. Steve H is in the house. How you doing, Steve? Dutch Jones with us. Who else we got? Mark Gaines, how you doing, Mark? Charles Ballard. I'm gonna flip through. Ron Makura. Have I read that correctly? That looks about right. How you doing, Ron? Nick Barnes, saying I said already. John David Sullivan, how you doing, JDS? A letter we've said. Nicholas Barlow, how you doing, Nicholas? So I'm gonna scroll through the chat here. Viali, I think we said that already. Not sure if I did. Rick, how you doing, Rick? Yeah, I think that is pretty much everybody. So thanks for all of you for, oh, Mike P as well. Forgot Mike P towards the top there. Matthew Bob. Day as well, and old Bob. Paul Lamont. Bless you all for joining us on this somewhat autumnal Saturday evening. It's not too bad. Mike said, yeah, I did say I'd try to make it. Excellent stuff. Paul Lamont has already hit that age with baked beans. 57, just a puppy. Yes. Aletta says we had a freeze warning last night. Wow.
But we get lots of warnings and it doesn't ever materialise.
Yeah, we get warnings and nothing ever happens. It's quite disappointing in some instances.
On the end of the driveway, hoping they blow away in a force gale, but
yes, right,
they stay there.
Right, so tonight we've got a few things to be looking at and also some interesting tells, and obviously This week, if you've been watching the videos that we've put out, there's been some good ones and some less good ones, as is always the case. Some of you found the new Windows 25H2 no Microsoft account video quite helpful. So for all of you that are trying to use Windows 11 25H2 and not using a Microsoft account, hopefully these videos are useful. And we've actually got another one which I made yesterday, I think. Yes, yesterday. So there's 2 other methods which have come out of the woodwork, which are going to be suitable for Windows 11 home and professional users. So yeah, the game of whack-a-mole with Microsoft continues as always. Yes, it's a fun time, isn't it? I keep on getting the comments as well. Some of you possibly that are watching at the moment have put those comments in saying, is now a good time to go to Linux? Well, I don't think so. I still don't think there is enough of a problem with Microsoft to warrant such a huge jump, but potentially some of you have or are using dual boot systems, or maybe you've jumped to Linux already and you're enjoying it. I don't think I'm quite ready to make that jump yet. Probably because most of my livelihood is based around Windows. So it would seem a bit weird leaving Windows, being that I am kind of like the guinea pig for anything new that comes out. I generally install it and then reap the rewards or the failures later on in videos. So yeah, I don't think I'm quite there yet. I think Linux is getting to the point where it is becoming a contender. There's certainly some distributions of which are going to be favourable to some people. If you just use your PC for playing games, then potentially it is a good way to maybe jump onto that bandwagon. I still feel, even though Microsoft do some pretty bizarre things and their choices of kind of harvesting data are quite extreme, or at least it would appear so against other operating systems. But what I keep on coming back to, and you can agree with me or you can disagree, that is the whole point of a public forum discussion. You can choose to completely agree, or you can be on the fence, or you can, well, whatever. I think personally, the bigger threat is actually the web browser. That, for me, I think is the more common attack vector for a lot of companies for siphoning off your data. I really do. I think the amount of data which Microsoft actually keeps or uses about you is relatively benign. I know a lot of people are going to be up in arms about saying that. That's absolutely fine. But I think websites generally tend...
The same 2 companies own the whole lot of all of it anyway,
kind of, yeah.
So
I think web pages and websites in general, and especially some of the less scrupulous ones. Like obviously there's some websites which adhere to the letter of the law per your region and will harvest data in some areas and not in others. But there's obviously a lot of sites which do a lot more, because you can tell if you even talk or mention something, good old Google and all the others are kind of listening in, whether it be Safari, Firefox, whatever browser, whichever devices you're using, they're all listening, no matter what it is. Your Google Home, your light bulbs, your smart devices, they're all taking an interest in what you're doing. And you can tell by just what comes up in your search feeds or even on your social media feeds. It's actually quite scary sometimes, especially when you just thought about something and it comes up. That's the one that always gets me. When you're just in the privacy of your own home and you're just kind of daydreaming away, as we tend to do sometimes when you're waiting for Windows updates or for something to download or just for something to happen, you kind of just sat there spacing out and you think, maybe I would like to smoke a Sherlock Holmes pipe. And then, for some bizarre reason, even though you haven't said it out loud, just thought of it, it somehow comes up on your search. I'll never understand how they do that. It's extremely good. And I only wish that things like AI and search in general would be so accurate. It's a very strange thing to do. Anyway, yeah, it does always freak me out when I do that. I'm not sure how it works, but it does happen from time to time.
Bob wants to know, what's the black AIO doing in the PC behind, Mike?
The black AIO in the PC behind is one I've actually been testing this week and made a video on. It is actually this one here, so I thought I'd discuss it because I knew someone was going to ask. So this is Thermaltake's new LA series of AIO coolers. Now this is designed to kind of, I'm guessing, they haven't said it outright, but I'm guessing they've designed it or made it to pretty much, well, I wouldn't say compete, that's the wrong word, but to give an option to people who want to spend a lot less money but still want some of those features that you see in more budget orientated brands. Obviously the one that sticks out the most is going to be Thermaltake, because they are absolutely killing it in the CPU cooler market, whether it's for air coolers or for AIOs. Obviously, when it comes to Thermaltake, they were one of the first companies which actually produced one with an LCD screen, which was programmable, and it came out at some incredibly low price. That was the Frozen Warframe, which was kindly sent to us by Andy Archer back in the day. So thank you very much for that. So Thermaltake, in their wisdom, have realized that there is a segment in the market where people want a little bit more, and they don't mind spending a little bit more, but not too much more. So that is where this comes in. So this at the moment retails for somewhere in the region of about 75 to 80 pounds, which isn't quite the Thermaltake pricing, but if you look at things like the Frozen Warframe, which do actually have an LCD screen on them, some of those models are a little bit higher price, so in the kind of mid 60s, sometimes towards the 70 pounds mark. So I think this is actually a very, very good option. It's a little bit less customizable on the screen, but you can see, well, you can probably work out from there. It shows you CPU temperature, shows you fan speeds, CPU usage, that sort of thing. Very, very small piece of software, which actually seems to work, which was always one of those compliments that was backhandedly given to Thermaltake, of saying that, yes, your hardware is excellent, but your software is absolutely atrocious. And anybody who's used the TRCC, or Thermaltake Control Center, will know that it's very hit and miss. Not quite as hit and miss as the Lian Li software, I'll give it that, but it is sometimes a little bit problematic, and also sometimes gets memory leaks, so it kind of just seems to gobble up loads of RAM for no apparent reason until you reboot, and it's absolutely fine. So in order to compete, yeah, Thermaltake have come out with this, the LA360. There's also the LA360-S, which is this one, which has the screen in it. The standard LA360 doesn't have the screen, it just has an illuminated Thermaltake logo in the center there. But what they've done is they've put a high quality pump, high quality radiator, and excellent fans. Like, these fans are insane. They move so much air, it's not even a joke. Now, don't get me wrong, when they're moving a lot of air, they are extremely noisy. You can just hear the air going through. And actually, when I was testing on my system, I was like, where is that noise coming from? And I was getting some strange whistling. And actually, just by opening up the side case and kind of lifting it there, the noise profile would change. So basically, the fans are so strong in the AIO, they were actually causing a suction effect or a negative pressure effect, which I didn't expect. I don't think I've ever experienced that with an AIO before. Even at the lower RPMs, the fans, I don't know how they've done it, the fans are absolutely mental. They move a ridiculous amount of air. And potentially later on, or maybe in a minute, I'll put the fans on to 100% so you can hear how loud it can get. And it moves a ridiculous amount of air. I think each fan will move somewhere in the region of like 80 CFM. I'll have to read it actually. Yeah, 84.58 CFM. So basically 85 CFM for a 120mm fan is unusual, to say the least. Normally they are somewhere, like a decent one would be around about 60 CFM. You get some pretty poor ones which would be in the 40s, that sort of thing. But 85 CFM for a 120mm fan is mad. Times that by 3, that's a lot of air volume. It really is. So yeah, this is it's a cracking little cooler actually. I was surprised. I didn't think I was going to like it, especially due to the kind of the price deficits between Thermaltake and Thermaltake and others, obviously. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I do, but as you can see, it's still in my computer. It's been there a couple of days now, and I think it's probably going to end up staying there for a bit. I do actually like it. The fact that it's black in a white system is a little bit annoying, but it does work very well. And it's actually, weirdly, it performs better than the one that I had in there previously, which was the Thermaltake Tough Liquid Ultra EX. And that is a cracking cooler and also considerably more expensive. So Yeah, a little bit weird. Also got, this has got daisy chainable fans or daisy chain fans, so they're all interlinked. So in terms of actual connectivity, that is another thing it's got going against Thermaltake. Thermaltake generally don't have locked together fans, especially on their AIOs. It's like just bunches and bunches of cables, which isn't really a problem, but it can be a little bit of a trying thing for some novice builders when they're just faced with an absolute insane amount of cables. Whereas with this, coming out of the actual radiator, you've got two cables, one for PWM, one for ARGB, standard stuff, and for the pump, same deal, plus a USB for plugging in the data side of things. So yeah, very easy to install, performs like an absolute champ. Very competitive pricing for what is a premium brand, and I think that's what it's got going for it. Thermaltake, if you've ever tried to get hold of Thermaltake in their technical support, or even just to get an answer on a problem, question, whatever, they're not very kind of forthcoming, let's say. They're quite difficult to get hold of, let's say that. I wouldn't say they're downright awful, but it's not far off it. And at least with Thermaltake, they are a very public-facing company here in the UK and also in the States. Obviously, you've got a couple of channels, and also you've got Thermaltake Mike on Thermaltake US, who, yeah, he's a public figure, has his own channels, etc., etc. Very easy to get. So if you don't get an answer directly from them, you can hassle him, and normally he'll put you through to the right people if at all possible. So yeah, it's an interesting thing to see. I didn't think that Thermaltake would come out with something as, I don't want to say cheap, but as reasonably priced as this. But I think they are definitely seeing that there is somewhat of a threat from Thermaltake. They are taking a lot of the market share with those insanely low prices. But yeah, the support, if you need it, isn't always there, which for some people is an important thing. So yeah, Thermaltake do a pretty good job in my opinion, and this cooler does a very good job. So there will be a video coming out about this very shortly, but if you see it posted anywhere, it's yeah, it's pretty good and well worth a look. Let's see what is being said in the chat. Paul Lamont, I have the LA240-S version. It arrived today. Was a bit of a ball ache to install, but it's doing okay. Good to hear it. What was the ball ache that you had to install it? I'm interested to know. I did actually find there is a downside. They've actually shortened the tubes on the radiator, so I can't actually put the radiator the other way around because the tubes aren't long enough, and it makes it look a little bit stretched. It will physically fit, but it looks stretched, and I can't put the radiator in the front because the tubes are too short. That is the downside with a design of having tubes down, because you can't really rotate it because of the screen. So the tubes being down does obviously take away a couple of, well, about an inch or so. So just that little bit of extra would have been nice. It seems strange. I actually watched a video from Thermaltake themselves explaining the kind of the design and the reasoning behind this particular cooler, and they said, yeah, we've shortened the tubes to make installation easier, when in fact it's probably made it harder. But I guess the intention was there, but it hasn't quite worked out. Dutch Janice says, sorry Mike, all BS that you don't need. What's that, the LCD screens? I quite like an LCD screen. I do find it, if I put a AIO in which doesn't have one on, I do miss it.
Yeah, but that's because you do a lot.
But then I do a lot of testing, so it's quite nice to just kind of peer over and say, oh, CPU's running at 49 degrees, okay. CPU usage is at 20, whatever it is. Fan RPMs. It's quite nice just as a visual without having to have a separate screen up.
Oh, babe.
Yeah, that's been on there for ages. I just realised that.
Tell Welly Bob I can't do it. It's you that's got to do it.
It's me that does it.
But if I tap my screen enough, it goes.
David Under says, I want a leaf blower mod for intake. Really big positive pressure. That would definitely do it. Matthew Day says the tubes are a good fit for that location. Yeah, for having it over to the side, I I actually quite like it. I think I prefer tubes to the left, because then if you've got like your RAM or whatever, it just leaves it a little bit more open. So you've got all of your pipe work just up the side rather than being draped across. Either way is fine, but yeah, it just seems a little bit of a short-sighted thing to make the tubes shorter, when quite often the complaints from a lot of the building community are that the tubes are too short. Hence why Arctic actually made their tubes considerably longer for some of their models, which actually was a pain, because then sometimes there were some cases where it was too much and the tubes would like bend out and you'd have to kind of push them in with the glass. So you can't win them all, is the kind of the key thing. You can't win them all. But it's nice to see that someone like Thermaltake, who don't really need to bother competing because they've got a pretty decent market share, they sell a lot of equipment, so there's no real need for them to do it, but it's nice to see that they are acknowledging the fact that there are cheaper alternatives on the market and they want a slice of that pie as well. Whether it's nice, whether it's just they want money, they're greedy, I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of both. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, the cooler's very good, excellent stuff. And Mark Berry, yeah, sorry to hear about your vehicle. I was reading that very quickly before I came on to the stream. He's been rebuilding a old Nissan Micra. I think was it a Micra? It was a Micra. Yeah, it was a Micra. And got a second-hand engine, been going through the mill. He's also had a bad back, etc., illnesses, whatever. So trying to get the job done has been a long and arduous task. And today was the fire-up time and the engine didn't sound good. So kind of back to the drawing board on that a little bit, unfortunately. So hopefully you figure it all out, Mark. Yeah, it was a Micra. Dear. Right, other things of note before we get on to looking at the case, which we will do very shortly. Some of you, I'm not sure, did I have this in the stream last week? This Tough Gaming RTX 3060 12 gig. I can't remember if I did or not. I'm not sure if I did. I got a feeling this might have only arrived this week. Someone let me know.
Didn't you have to go down and get it in your pants?
I did, yeah. Rick says, yep. So, did I show this last week?
Rasher says the stream didn't automatically start for me, sitting here on the PC opening screen for 13 minutes after the stream started, and the countdown says 38 minutes until start. Why would that happen?
I don't know.
Just
It's
YouTube.
a bit weird. Yeah, YouTube being stupid. What's that? Matthew Day saying the 3 and the 2 fan. What was that? Oh, I mentioned it. Anyway, so I purchased this. This was one of those times when the eBay bot comes up on my screen and I make a rash decision. So I didn't really look at the description of this particularly well. It was on for £156 as a buy it now or best offer. So I thought, well, 150 quid for an RTX 3060, especially a nice Asus one, and the triple fan tough model is pretty good anyway. So I thought, well, I'll just try it. And I offered 125 quid. And I didn't think much more of it. And then either the next night or the next morning, I looked and it's like, oh, it's been automatically purchased by PayPal because it's linked in my eBay. They've accepted the offer. So I said to Kath, oh, I can't believe it. That's awesome. Like, these normally go for about 150, 160 quid anyway, if not more. To get it for 130 was awesome. And then it arrived and it was a mess. I've actually cleaned this up, but it has basically been left somewhere and it's rusted. So there's like some sort of weird rust on the radiator, which is like a white, almost like a powdery looking one. So some sort of reaction there. And the actual fan mounting plate was basically brown. You can still see it partially in some places. I have actually taken it apart, sanded it, cleaned it, and then give it a coat of paint. And fortunately, our BMW is a very similar color to the kind of the gray Tough logo. So I actually painted the midframe for the fans with BMW E91. I'm not sure what the color code is, but it's, yeah, basically it's BMW metallic dark grey. So yeah, it does look much better than it did. And another thing that I didn't do is I didn't read the listing correctly. I just looked at the price, looked at it and thought, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. So they did say in the listing that it was a little bit oxidized was the word they used. But also something which I didn't read, which is actually very important, is the fact that not all of the outputs work. So they said they hadn't fully tested it, but not all outputs seem to work. So that immediately started me getting a bit concerned. Now this is actually one which has got a lot of outputs. It's got 5 outputs. So you've got 2 HDMI and 3 DisplayPort. So I figured, well, even if not all of them work, at least it should be able to do a dual monitor, which is kind of what a lot of people will expect. So I eagerly put it into the PC behind me for some testing purposes. And fortunately, I've got the monitor, which is here, and also I've got the monitor, which is there. So I can choose multiple ports. So I put it into the PC, fired it up, and it worked. Did a bench test, seems absolutely fine. So I thought, great, let's try some of the other ports. At which point, not a single one of the DisplayPort ports actually worked. The 2 HDMI ports were absolutely fine. The DisplayPorts didn't work at all. So a lot of things went through my mind. Is it corrosion? Have the ports corroded? That is a possibility, although for all 3 of them to go seems somewhat unlikely. So I've got myself some, what's this? Electrical contact cleaner. This I've had for a little while anyway. This isn't the greatest, but it's reasonable. So I thought, well, I'll give it a go with that. Doused it in this stuff, give it a little bit of agitation with the DisplayPort adapter into the ports just to loosen them up. And it sounded much better. Before it was like really crunchy and crackly, whereas now I could plug them in and it just slides in very nicely, locks into position. So I thought, well, maybe, you never know. So I wait for it all to dry off, put it back in the machine, and no, still no display, which was absolutely a terrible thing for me. So I thought, well, great. So I sent to CAF, it's happened, I've basically screwed myself here. I've made a poor decision. I've bought something without reading the description. It's a mistake and I'll just have to own it. So I thought, well, actually, no, I'm not going to just own it. I'm going to try and remedy it. So I went on to Amazon, good old Amazon, and ordered some Servosol S10, I think it's called, which is a kind of a professional anti-oxidation thing. Not quite as good as Deoxit, but Deoxit is super expensive. It's about 25 quid a can, whereas the Servosol stuff is about £10. So I thought, right, I'll go with that. I'll order that. That's going to be the next step to see if it is oxidization, and hopefully it might be able to cure some of the other problems.
So show it when it arrived.
I will show you the package of the Servosol that arrived.
Backwards, obviously.
So that was the package that arrived, which was somewhat torn on the top. So clearly someone had a go at this. Yes, it was supposed to be an Amazon Prime next day delivery, but unfortunately it was absolutely stone cold flat. Now the reason why that didn't immediately spring alarm bells is because we had 2 things being delivered from Every, which are the UK's worst delivery company that exists, I think. One of which was supposed to be some PTM 7950 thermal pads, which I also ordered for rectifying my 9600X. So I figured that one of the envelopes is probably going to be the PTM pads because they're obviously very thin, doesn't need to be a big package. The other package possibly would be the spray. It wasn't. It's quite painful to say. So yeah, the problems were just getting worse and worse. So the graphics card turned up. I didn't read the description. It turned up rusty as all hell and basically half functioning or partially functioning. So we're off to a bad start. This didn't work either. So that leads me to today. So I thought to myself, well, what have I done in the past when I've got a graphics card which isn't working as it should do? And what advice do I give people when in a similar situation? So if you can rule out the physical stuff, so if you've looked inside and nothing was burnt out and everything looks like it should be working, obviously you can't really go to depth with a circuit tester or something because that's not really going to give you an idea of what's going on. So I thought, what have I done previously? I've tried to flash the BIOS. So I went on to the ASUS website. Well, I actually didn't go to ASUS straight away. I went over to, what is the site? I can't remember what the site's called now.
Pumpkin Trunks.
Hunkintrunks.com. No, that was not it. It was another one like that. Tech Spot, is it Tech Spot or Tech something? Anyway, where they've got all the VGA BIOSes. We've done a video on it years ago on how to flash AMD cards. So I thought, let's just try and flash the BIOS. So I looked through the card. Most of the ASUS BIOSes for the Dual, the Tough, and the Tough OC, etc., generally tend to be all the same. So it was a pretty straightforward thing. Grabbed the BIOS, downloaded the NV Flash 64 utility, did the flash, or at least attempted it. The first one I did, it said there was a BIOS ID mismatch. So I'm thinking, well, this is supposed to be a Tough Gaming, but I couldn't see the sticker because it was inside the PC. And in fact, I still can't see it. I'm going to get my magnifying glass out because I actually need to confirm whether it is or not. My thoughts are that whoever had this card previously has actually tried to flash it with the wrong BIOS. And that is why that happened. So, actually, if I turn that around the other way, that'll be much easier to read. Otherwise, it's going to be in Australian. Yeah. So this is the just the Tough Gaming 12 gig. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, RTX 3060. Doesn't say OC or anything, just says 12 gig gaming. So I downloaded the BIOS for that, and it said there was a product ID mismatch. So went back on and I downloaded the BIOS for the OC version, which this isn't, and that seems to match the ID. So I flashed that, rebooted the computer, and eagerly waited it for some signs of life. And I thought, I'm going to be confident with this. So I plugged in the HDMI, the DisplayPort only, and rebooted the PC, and lo and behold, it came back to life. And I tested all the display ports, they all work, and the HDMI ports all still work. So weirdly, flashing the incorrect BIOS onto this card actually resurrected the DisplayPort outputs. Now, this is a weird thing, so I don't know how this has happened. Maybe they somehow corrupted the BIOS. I cannot see how that would be a thing. I can't imagine someone would flash this deliberately to disable the display ports. I don't understand that. So if anybody can like fathom out what the hell's going on, the fact that this graphics card now has the overclocked BIOS from a different card and it now works perfectly, but it wouldn't work as its normal self. I'm really confused. It has actually got a switch on the back, which is for performance mode or for quiet mode, which I don't think is a dual BIOS. I just think it changes the profiles of the fans. I'm not sure. Again, if anyone out there watching has one of these cards and you've owned one and you know a bit more about it than I do, then please do let me know. I'm pretty sure it's just, yeah, performance mode or quiet mode. It's just a fan setting rather than being a dual BIOS. But yeah, let me know. So anyway, long story short, the card is now much better than it was when I got it. The rust is essentially pretty much all gone. On some angles, you can see the white powderiness of the fins. So potentially I might try and give it a blast of paint, but
Did it have a mining BIOS on it?
I'm not bother. It may have had a mining BIOS on it. I don't know. I'm not sure. The weird thing is, the Gaming OC and the Gaming both have exactly the same clock speeds and memory speeds. Like, it's the same BIOS, just a different BIOS ID. So I don't understand that. I couldn't work out why the Gaming OC and the Gaming would have the same BIOS and the same clock speeds. You'd assume that the OC version would have maybe a couple of megahertz chucked on, but it appears, from what I could see from Tech whatever it was site, that it was the same. So yeah, I don't know. But why would a mining card disable DisplayPort? What advantages would that give you? Does decoding DisplayPort require any additional technology? I would have thought it would have been the other way around. That DisplayPort would have been the kind of the more open source native thing, whereas HDMI is one that you have to normally pay royalties for to use. So you'd think that there would be some possible performance penalty or decoding penalty for using HDMI rather than the other way around. So yeah, I'm really confused. I don't know. Sky says, yeah, miner, that makes sense. They had BIOS that were more efficient for miners. But that's the thing. The BIOS that was on it didn't appear. I should have saved the BIOS. That's one thing I forgot to do. I forgot to save the old BIOS. But then I don't know how to open it to see what it was actually in it. So anyway, like I said, long story short, this now works seemingly perfectly. It's actually a lovely looking card. You've got a nice bit of RGB on the back there. Metal backplate. It's all actually pretty much metal construction. Even the top side, all metal. So yeah, nice big chunk of metal. Little weighty number as well. And it only needs a single 8-pin connector, so that's nice for some cases. And also the fact that it's got 5 outputs on, which I don't know if you could even use 5 outputs at once. I think you'd probably struggle to do that. But I do like the fact that it's got 2 HDMIs. That's quite a rare thing to see on graphics cards these days. And in fact, I don't remember the last one I had. I think it's probably like a Gigabyte one years and years ago. So yeah, nice to see that, that it's now resurrected and working exactly as it should be. So yeah, there is some more of my trials and tribulations of this last week. Nice and posh for a 3060. Well, that's the thing as well. When we're looking at, obviously, the time of year we're at the moment, we're looking kind of October, which basically means Christmas. It's I've slightly got my mind set on Christmas PC builds. What's going to be going out? Obviously, you've got Thanksgiving as well. Thanksgiving in Canada, I think, is coming up very soon as well. Then you've got Thanksgiving in America. You've got Black Friday, all that kind of stuff. So there's lots of sales coming up. Actually, before we move on to another topic, I will switch completely. Now that I've just said that, how many of you were really disappointed with the Amazon sales this year for the Amazon Prime Day, which was on the 7th and 8th, I think it was?
I don't think I've ever been impressed by them.
There's Andy Archer. He's in the house. How you doing, Andy Archer? Yeah.
On Monday, Thanksgiving.
It was. Oh, was it? Oh, cool. I knew it was soon. David Anderson says HDMI is raw data, DisplayPort is encrypted. Okay, maybe that might be a reason. But what? Yeah, why would that improve anything for Bitcoin? Not sure. Anyway, yeah, the Amazon Prime deals that weren't this year. I think this year has been the very worst I've ever seen for Amazon Prime Day. Did anyone get any deals? I sure as well.
They didn't used to have.
I'm not going to say I didn't.
It used to always be in July.
It's two, don't they? Have it split, don't they?
Have they always done that?
No, it's more of a recent thing. But I tell a lie, I did actually buy something. I bought.
Is it a present for me?
I bought 2 pairs of trousers, and they were technically not from Amazon. They were sort of from Amazon, but they were Amazon haul. So I got myself some nice new slacks to wear. Just some very boring black trousers with 98% cotton, 2% elastane because I'm a fatty. So yeah, they fit a little bit better. I do like stretchy jeans. They don't look like they're tight, but they are like, there's got a bit of give. So when you bend over, you don't bust your balls. I do like that. Sky says Prime Day was the worst this year. Didn't get any tech. Yeah, it was crap. It really was crap. I don't think many people have got the money, but yeah, it was very odd. I was keeping an eye on our Discord in the Bargains No Chat, and I was also keeping an eye on the other bots, also looking at UK hot deals, which normally get things posted there. Or even sometimes you get emails sent to you from Amazon saying, these are our upcoming deals. And I was just looking through it thinking, this is utter tosh. That's the polite way of saying it if you're in the UK. I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that there is big price increases coming for, as always, RAM and storage. Chips are being, unfortunately, the prices are all going up again. Which is a shame, because they haven't really come down enough from previous times. Hey Candy, how you doing? This is Candy.
She's not around often.
Say hello to the people.
She's a bit of a thief. She takes stuff out in the garden.
Candy is a kleptomaniac. She takes things and just leaves them out in the garden or hides them. So she's took calf's rubber off her desk.
Taken a shell from someone's garden.
A shell from someone's garden and brought that here. Calf's got a blankie because she's only 10 years old. That she's had since she was probably about 10 years old.
Oh, bloody baby.
Or a baby. So it's basically from her baby blanket. It was like ripped up and tied into knots. And she used to take it to bed with her. Candy stole that as well. And we found it today in the garden. All ripped up. Yeah.
Rip.
It's fun. Stevie says, "Lord, my cat just perked up." Oh, bless. Well, she's been done, so we'll have none of that.
But her mother wasn't. Was she?
Rasher. I like that one. I'm going to put that on the screen.
What is this? Something horrible about me?
No. This is the last time I buy a keyboard on eBay. That's excellent. That did make me laugh. Greg M says, I could have bought a motherboard from Amazon, from Newegg or Amazon. Bought it from Amazon along with memory and CPU due to ease of returns. Stephen Anderson says, I saw 7800X3D for 338, but that's a whole new platform. I have a lot of PC parts to build another M4 build. All I needed was a case, a motherboard, and power supply. Yeah, it's been pretty bad. It has been pretty bad. It's been not great, and yeah, potentially it is going to get more expensive as well, which is not great. Why is there something there? What's that saying? I just noticed they've added a new thing to the streams now, so it highlighted at the bottom. So apparently at some point I can turn this stream into members only. So you can schedule your live stream to switch to members only. Great. So clearly YouTube aren't making enough money. Bastards. Well, we could get around that, couldn't we? We could just offer a free membership tier. That would be good.
I don't think you can you?
Or maybe £1. It's still £1.
Yeah.
I think a pound's the lowest you can go, I think, or $1.
Is it?
Yeah, I think you can offer £1.
That must have changed since we did it, because we did it.
Right. Another deal which came along this week, and this is actually a rarity. Now, I don't know, some of you in the chat will probably have never seen or even heard of this before. So here is a power supply from Gigabyte. This is the P650 SS Ice Edition. And these were available from CCL here in the UK. This one was kindly got by Dave Aitken. And actually, Dave, you need to send me your details so I can send you the money for this. Unless Kath's got them already. These were $39.99 plus postage. So Dave bought one, I bought one as well, so we could split the postage costs. So it come down to like $41.97 or something. So 42 quid. But this is a strange one. So this is a 80 plus silver rated. Yes, silver.
Why didn't you just give him cash when he came?
I didn't have it on me.
I did.
Oh, okay. Yes, a silver rated power supply. I've not opened this yet, so I'm going to have a look. Judging by the packaging, it looks like it's kind of OEM is all hell, but it appears to be a retail product as well. But yeah, 80 plus silver rated. So obviously not as good as gold, but not as bad as bronze. Now I know there's only a couple of percentage points between the two anyway. So like, it's no point getting excited or like, well, this one's silver, so I'm going to get it because it's much better than the bronze ones. That isn't the deal. But apparently Dave says it is extremely quiet, which is nice. It comes with a white UK power plug. Excellent. It's available in white or black, and it's available from CCL. So if you're in the UK, you want to buy one, you can do. It isn't a modular or even a semi-modular power supply, which for some people is a little bit of a deal breaker type thing, but this looks okay. You've got nice flat cabling on there. I don't think we're going to have anything funky like a 24 by 2 by 6 whatever jobby connector.
Not modular.
It's not modular, no. It's got a CPU connection and a pass-through. Yeah, it's got a bunch of connections on there. But yeah, I quite like the idea of it because it's white and it's 80 plus silver rated. and it gives out apparently 54.1 amps on the 12 volt rail. It's got active power factor correction, all that kind of usual stuff. So yeah, 649.2 watts on the 12 volt rail. So the 650 tag on there makes a lot of sense. Well, yeah, I thought that was pretty good for just over 40 quid. Gigabyte, it's a low noise version apparently. So yeah, that is excellent. Pretty happy with that for 40 quid, especially looking at where prices are going at the moment when it comes to, well, basically everything. Everything's getting more expensive, and even AliExpress, who normally had our backs. What is going on with AliExpress? The prices over there are getting more expensive as well. I'm desperately looking out for the 7700s or whatever they decide to start selling cheap again to happen, because I do need some CPUs. I'm down to minimal levels now. I've got my 86 or 8700G. I've got the 9600X and what I've got in there, and that's kind of it. I've got a bunch of AM4 processors, which is fine, but I haven't really got AM4 boards. So yeah, it's a little bit of a pain. I am wanting some 7700s from AliExpress for much cheapness, please. Go on, Otis. He's jumped over. I'm looking over the side of me now at the case, and unfortunately, Flame and Dave are both asleep on top of the case. I don't think we can. Not easily, no.
And Maisie's in front of you.
Yeah, Maisie's there. Otis is there. Candy was in here.
I think she's gone back out.
Nightmare.
She's just gone and nicked your...
User 457 says, it's Gigabyte. It's likely to explode on power up. I do find it quite amusing that Gigabyte had one problem with power supplies, and that is now forever going to be their downfall. It's such a shame. But yeah, I see what you mean.
Do you want to come and say hello?
Janos says, many components used to be white years ago, and they would discolour over time. Well, they tend to be more beige than white. White is more of a more modern thing. We haven't had white. Years ago we had beige, then it all went to silver and or black, or aluminium, and then white came in probably about 5 years ago, I want to say. Greg says, AliExpress is fine if you want no warranty. I have a ceiling limit for AliExpress spending $60. That is how much I'm willing to kiss goodbye. I always use PayPal, so I've got a little bit more of a tolerance to failure. If anything goes wrong, they're normally pretty good. There's Otis. Hey, Otis. You have some food? No, just going to get out of the way. Alessa says, the big problem for Gigabyte's PSU problem is that I had that PSU and I'll never buy another thing from them. Oh, what's he done now? Otis! The HDMI?
They both seen in.
Turn the camera off and turn it back on again.
What, the actual on-off at the top?
Yeah.
Oh, it's alright now. Spin it.
No. Sorry about this. Can you still hear me? Hello?
His ear's on there.
Something's broken. Hang on. Otis! God damn it. Oh, there we go. It's back now. Did you not turn it back on?
Turn what back on?
The camera?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I'm pushing those things in the sides.
Oh, right. There we go. Super chat from Rasher. Thank you very much, Rasher, for your 20 euros. Let's give you a little heart there. Thank you. He says, clown divorces always end in a lengthy custardy battle. Oh, dear. Good old clowns. I'm a little scared of clowns, I'll be honest with you. Not scared, but I don't know, they're a little bit freaky, aren't they? We are back. Dutch Jan says, Mike, your thoughts on the Height X50? I have never seen it. Let's have a look. Height X50. I'm not a big fan of Height, to be honest with you, in general. Because it's one of those companies which just got loads of hype, and we went through a stage where loads of people were buying Height cases, and they were like coming onto the Discord. I've just bought a new PC. I've got this processor, this graphics card, all this like really high-end stuff. And they're like, okay. It's like, what case is it in? They're like, oh, it's a Height. And it's like, which model is it? And there's that one where you can only mount the graphics card vertically, and so many people have problems with that, with the riser cable either not being in the correct place or not working properly, or just this, that, and the other. Loads and loads of problems. Was that the Y60? I think it was. Let's have a look. The Height X50 and X50 Air. Oh, that I don't like. That looks a bit... I'm going to put it on the screen there. Oh, I don't want to sign up today. Go away. Go away. So, yeah. I'm not keen on that. It's an interesting design, but it's a little bit too curved. It looks like if you had to design a video game set in the future, what would your PC case look like? It's got that kind of vibe to it. It's definitely different. I'm not a fan of wraparound glass on the top. For me, the top of a case should be for exhausting heat, not for trapping it in. Yeah, I don't really like that a lot. No doubt it'll sell like proverbial hotcakes. Actually, that's not too bad with the shroud over the PSU. Yeah, it's not awful, but I don't. Oh yeah, I couldn't work out the shroud there. I didn't see that before. I thought that was just empty space. So yeah, it's kind of like, if you've got a shroud there at the top covering it up anyway, like, what's your glass looking at? Just a top of a shroud? I would have been probably happier if they would have taken the curve from this bottom section and maybe wrapped it around there, and then have the top of that all like that, mesh like that. Because that's kind of wasted space. There's nothing you can do up there. You can't put any fans in it, because it's obviously solid glass, so it would be pointless. Yeah, I don't know. What's your thoughts on it? Let me know. And also it's $160, which isn't obscene. Oh, and yeah, I was just something to say. They basically copied Thermaltake, because Thermaltake have got the View 390, and they had some of the View series before. I think it was the View 51, which had that wraparound top glass section. And then yeah, and they've also decided to copy Thermaltake's colours as well. So Thermaltake call theirs Snow White, yeah. What's the black one? What are they calling that? They are calling that Pitch Black. Okay, that's different, because I think Thermaltake don't call it that. What's the red one called? Racing Red? Oh, Wild Cherry. Green, they do, obviously Thermaltake do the Pistachio. And, oh actually no, Matcha Green they call it. And they've actually decided to copy it exactly. Hopefully this isn't going to be, oh dear. Oh my days. That is, that's different. Strawberry milk. Hopefully it doesn't smell like rotten milk after a while. That's, yeah. That just, I don't know, that reminds me of like a tampon dispenser or something. And this is going to be called Lilac, obviously. Oh no, taro milk. What the hell's taro milk? I've never heard of that. How is that not purple or lilac? What's taro milk when it's at home? Oh dear. Yeah, you need to like the pink one a lot. How much are the fans to go with it? Set of 4 fans. 4 fans, which aren't even at RGB, for $50. Yeah, I think they're smoking something there. Taro milk is the blue stuff from Star Wars. Oh dear. Taro milk is strawberry milk after 5 years sitting on the shelf. Oh dear. Pepto Pink. Yeah, it is, yeah. That pink is, yeah, not great. John says the colours are awful. And O'Reilly says a pink case for Kath. If I got her that case, that would probably be grounds for divorce. She wouldn't like that at all. I don't like it at all.
Why? What's wrong with it?
Have a look, it's bloody awful. Let's see if there's any better pictures of it. I don't think there will be. It doesn't look... it's just really rounded, isn't it? I don't know if it's too rounded. Ooh.
I didn't mind it. I just prefer it to not have glass sides.
No, there's it. Wait till you see the last picture. You'll see what it looks like.
I like the wheels, the balls on the feet.
Yeah.
I said wheels.
Yeah, it's got sort of like balls on, or wheels or something in it. It's almost like an animal. Yeah, it's like a suitcase and
like a kid's suitcase that was an animal that you could sit on as you wheel it along.
a kid's suitcase with a PC inside it. And like, where are you going to get a pink power supply? Like, yeah, it looks all right there because you've got the pink fans, you've got the pink cooler, pink RAM, which obviously doesn't exist. So this is all a mock-up. So you're unlikely to ever really get the full thing. Stephen Anderson says it makes me sick to look at it. JBL speaker, yes. Yes, JBL. Paul Lamont says it's shahite from me. Good one. Riley says, shame the image there is all generated mock-up. Yeah, it's AI to the max, isn't it? I don't know. I think it probably would grow on you. But again, I don't see why they've gone to the hassle of getting all that glass to cover up basically like 2/3 of the top section. Just seems like it's really not well thought out. And I'm not really a big fan of power supplies being in that position. Like in a dual tower, it's not too bad, but yeah, very strange. Well, thank you, whoever it was, for mentioning that and making us all feel a little bit nauseous. Actually, I want to see what the green... Oh. Like that green, that's like... If you go to IKEA and you look at all the kids' toys, you guarantee there's going to be something in that colour. And it's going to be cheap as ass.
Little stool to put it on.
Yeah.
Andy Davis says, I miss the star. Are these available in 650, 850, 100? Not sure what that means. Is that power supply?
Where was that question?
It's at 911, Andy Davis.
Andy Davis, I'm looking at your question. Hang on. Bear with. 911, 911. 911. I can't even see it.
Des said it looked like a suitcase. I think he probably said that before I did.
Who was it who asked about the power?
Andy Davis.
Oh, right, yeah. I missed the start. Are these available in 650, 850, 1000 watt? I suppose that'd be. No, I don't think they are. I'm not too sure. You'd have to have a look. They're on CCL's website. Sky says, I think it looks neat. It is, I don't know, it's very, it's definitely polarizing. Who knows? Yeah, I'm not sure on that. I'm really not sure.
And then
That is, yeah, a bit of a weird one.
Old Bob at 9:15.
Old Bob at 9:15. Sorry. Kath's picking me up on not answering questions.
No,
Oh, Bob.
I've been out of the kitchen.
All right. A certain YouTuber said in their latest video that the 9700X isn't worth buying. He said get the 7600X or the 9600X. He said there's been concerns about the 9700X. Anyone know anything about it? I don't know. I would say the only thing about the 9700X, in terms of as a raw gaming processor, the differences in gaming numbers between the 7600, the 9600 and the 9700 are going to be so minimal, it's not even going to be funny. The 9700X, I don't know if there's like a concern about it, because as far as I know, it's still a single CCD, so it shouldn't have any real issues there. Yeah, I don't know. 9700X, as far as I know, is fine. Yeah, I don't know. If anyone else has got any thoughts on that, let us know. Alexa says, I don't like the price. My huge Thermaltake CTE C750 Air only costs $170 US. And that is a beast of a case. An absolute beast of a case. Right. I'm going to drink some of my drink. Let's have a look now, finally, at long last. We will actually have a look at the case that the video tonight's stream is supposed to be about. I'm going to drink some drink first. Rasher says, white builds all the way for me, brackets, I'm not racist. I don't think that's a concern when we're talking about cases. I think you're all right there. Yeah, I think in most instances you're okay with that. It's absolutely fine. Arnold Albert says, definitely not from me, but each to his own. Yes, I know what you mean. Patrick LaBelle's in the house. How you doing, Patrick? Says, hello, steadily going to 150k subs. Congrats. Yes, we are less than, I think, 800 subs away from 150. So yeah, it's getting closer and closer. I thought it was going to be Christmas time, but it looks like it's. I thought it'd be Christmas time. I thought it was going to be a little bit earlier, so I thought maybe sort of midway, maybe early December, late November, but potentially we might even get it this month, which would be yeah, pretty cool.
773 to go.
773 to go. There you go.
But Patrick LaBelle sent us a special present, didn't he, on our big one?
He did, yeah. Yeah, we still got your PC in the front room for the 100,000. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, and on another note, whether or not it's a coincidence or whether or not it's fixed, it seems that the YouTube view counts are working again. There was a strange correction on Thursday, I think it was, where previously we were showing like 20,000 views a day, which is a little bit low for what we normally get. It's normally about 30,000. Looks okay there. Yeah, we were about a third down on views. Like the money was roughly the same, but the views were way down. And there was a big correction on Thursday or Friday, where it jumped up to like 45,000.
You're talking 20,000 a day, and now you're saying 45.
Yeah, that's what it jumped up to.
Yeah, no, but you're talking.
No, dailies these are.
45,000 views in a day.
Yeah. It's normally 60 in every 2 days, isn't it? Or 50 to 60.
So I did it have 45 in one.
That's what I said, it's a big correction.
Oh, so it jumped right up because of that?
Well, but that wouldn't... It should have been a lot more than that if it was to do with the count being backdated. So, yeah. I don't know what's happened there. Essentially, every day it was like around like 20, 21, 22, 20,000 views a day. Whereas normally it'd be like 30, 29, 33, that sort of thing. So it would fluctuate. But it was about a third down in general. So we had this correction on Thursday or Friday. And then the last couple of, no, it must have been Thursday. And then the last couple of days, they've been back up to kind of almost what they were previously. But having said that, we have in the last 2 weeks released a couple of very good videos, or well, not very good videos, but videos which have done seemingly much better than previously. So whether it's the view count, whether it's just the videos have just hit the right spot and they've gradually built up, I don't know. But it does seem, I think today we were on about 58,000 views for the 2 days. So that is getting towards where we should be now. This time of year normally it's a little bit higher, because of people not going out doing stuff. If the weather's bad, the views go up, obviously, because people are at home. But yeah, the views seem to be slightly getting back to normal. So we'll see what happens. We will be obviously monitoring it quite closely because it's very close to our hearts. And I can't fast forward my video. Oh, sod it. That'll do.
I just put it on fast speed and then it gets to the end quicker and carries on as normal.
Oh yeah, I can't even do that because I can't see it. This new layout, I can't see half my screen. Thanks, YouTube. Andy Davis says, forgot to say on Discord, thanks for the Disgenius link. Worked like a treat to do the NVMe clone. No worries, glad it works. Rasher says, my son years ago made a few videos of the game Portal and he had a couple with over 1 million views. That is awesome. I think we've only got two.
One's approaching.
Yeah, two videos. We've got 2 videos that have done 1 million and one more which is nearly 1 million.
11,000 off, I saw the
Yeah.
other day. But 11,000 is loads, isn't it, really?
Greg M says, I see YouTube is allowing some prisoners in YouTube jail the ability to open a new channel. Yeah, it's a weird... I don't really understand that because...
Why can't you anyway?
Even if, like, your channel gets banned, there's nothing really that can stop you opening up another channel with another name.
Because there's lots of people...
Like, if you do it as your own name, so say, for instance, in the instance of Donald J. Trump, he got kicked off. So if he then created a new account, which was obviously him, then yeah, they wouldn't allow it. But the thing is, if you're like just another and like you do a gaming channel and you call it, I don't know, Doug's Gaming Channel, and then that gets kicked off, and then a couple of days later, yeah, Dave's Gaming Channel. It's like no one's really going to know the difference. Like, yes, you'd probably have to set it up as a different name for the or a different location possibly for payment services, but realistically I don't think that would make any difference at all. So I think the only people that this really applies to is like top tier or basically personalities. I think that is it. You could almost call it the Trump thing, is because that's there's probably others as well, like some
so that's what it's all about.
some political channels have probably got kicked off. I know like Redacted haven't, but they have come close to it a few times. But there's some that have been banned. I think like Louder or Crowder, that sort of stuff. Potentially, I don't think they've been kicked off entirely. There's very few channels that I know of that are high profile that have been absolutely kicked off. There probably are a few. If you can think of any, let us know in the chat.
Did David Icke?
He might have done, actually. Right, let's kick the cats off. Actually, let's look at the case first. I said we were going to do that, so let's do that. So if I go over to their website and look at the stream desktop, I can still see your chat on the side there. So what we're going to be looking at today is the Geometric Future. This is their Model 5. There's actually 2 versions of the Model 5. There's the Model 5 and the Model 5 Flex, I think it's called. Or, no, Vent, sorry, the Model 5 Vent. So the glass on the vent is just mesh, which I kind of think I prefer the glass on both sides. So as you can see, the Model 5 supports the 420mm radiator in the top section, so big chunky boy at the top there. It also supports eATX motherboards and also up to 460mm GPUs, so basically there's bigger GPUs you can get. Fun yet functional built-in display platform, so for those of you that can see it, there you go. There is a little display platform there which hangs off the bottom of the power supply shroud, so you can display your favorite ornaments or whatever you want to put there. That is entirely up to you. Comes in 4 colors, so you've got the yellow, which we've got here. There's also a grey, which is the one which we'll be looking at tonight, because I got the grey version, because I kind of like the idea of that. A little bit of two-tone going on.
Lone Wolf.
There's the white version there. I actually really like the white version. I think the white version might be my favourite, because it's got white case and also the white surround. It's very, very pleasing to the eye, I feel, personally. But let me know what you think. And then there's the green version for NVIDIA fans, possibly. Very much an electric green. Who's that? Sorry, Lone Wolf. Have you seen the Haven HS420? I haven't, no. Someone else mentioned about the Haven cases. I've not seen that one yet, sorry. So, unobstructed view, unrestricted airflow. So this is essentially a kind of like a chimney design. So you've got 3 fans at the bottom, which are intake, blowing upwards. You've then got an intake underneath the power supply section. So you've got 4 intakes at the bottom. And then at the top, depending on your configuration, you've got 1 fan on the back, which is exhaust, that is included. And then your choice of what you put into the top section. Apparently also you can fit in 2 fans at the back as well, behind the motherboard tray. Why you would want to do that, I don't know, but maybe someone might have a need for that. Compact in size, high compatibility, yeah, that's true. Supports 420 raids at the top, supports up to 10 120mm fans, tool-free panel removal, blah blah blah, supports RTX 40 series up to 460mm, sorry, vertical mounting ready as well, and supports up to eATX motherboards, even though it isn't technically an eATX style case, and strong materials. So yeah, get a general idea of what it's all about there. There is a close-up of the little panel there for displaying things if you wanted to. I think I'm probably going to remove it from mine, but obviously whatever you want to do, the choice is yours. Got the dual tempered glass. I actually really like the look of that. And I'm not normally one for monochromatic looks, but I actually quite like that. And I think in my instance with the grey version, I think with white lighting would look pretty slick. But we'll see. We've got to plan it out, see what we can do. Yeah, Modify, you've got the display platform there, so if you want to put your favourite characters or figurines in that position, you can do. And possibly you could even modify that as well to make it lower. So if you've got a bigger graphics card or a smaller graphics card, you could utilise some more of that space potentially if you're into crafting. Yeah, toolless panel removal, he said, so it's nice and easy to take apart. Supports eATX motherboards, as we've said, and big old stonking GPUs.
Small squares.
Small squares. Oh, that's for the fans intake. So that's more of a structural thing, if that's what you're referring to there. So yeah, all the locations. So again, if you want to, you can put a couple of fans in the rear section there, so to bring in more air towards your VRM cooling. I don't think realistically anyone's going to want to do that.
Stephen Anderson.
Stephen Anderson, Mike, where do I get your mouse pad? There is a link coming up in the chat. There you go. You can get them from technicallystable.com. Use the discount code Mike and you get a discount off your mouse pads. If you want the image, the Mike's Unboxing logo, we've got that on our Discord. So you go into the affiliates room and the links are in there. I'll put a link for the Discord in as well. So if you want to do that, you can do. The image is there for you to use should you wish to. So yeah, built for latest hardware, blah blah blah. The 420mm top mount water cooling is pretty impressive. And actually it looks quite good, but even if you had a 360, I think it would still fill it quite nicely. Yeah, so I see. Bless. There's an idea of your airflow. Oh dear, excuse me. Sorry. So it shows you the radiator layout. So 240, 280, 360 or a 420 in the top. In the back you've got 120 or a 140. And down in this section you can put a 120, 140 or 160. In this area they recommend a reverse blade fan. And in the bottom you can put in 3 120s or 3 140s. It comes with 3 140s included. Or you can put a 360 rad, 280 or 240. So yeah, it gives you an idea of what you can do. Dual panelled rear section. Perfect location for the PSU. which is kind of an unusual one. Not many cases do in this particular way, so it's kind of chambered in. So your exhaust goes out the top, as you would expect, and the intake is from the side there. And also the cable management is quite unique as well. So looking at the power supply, so you've got the power supply in this enclosure. You then take your cables out through the side and then route them down to the appropriate areas. So yeah, that's quite a nice design for taking your cables along. My only concern with that is with the power supply on this angle and the cables coming out at the bottom, will they have enough cabling to go along and down into the motherboard? That is a slight concern, but we'll have a look at that tonight, hopefully. Grab a power supply and see what's going on. We've also got built-in sag support, which is nice. Vertical installation of GPUs. You don't get the riser cable included, but if you wanted to, you can do. I think it might be a bit tight, you're right. Does it have support for BTF? I just saw someone say, yes, it has got BTF support by the looks of things. Excuse me. Alexa says I'd set the bottom fans to intake, all the rest to the exhaust. Strange how the picture shows 6 RAM sticks. Oh yeah. Yeah, that is a... Yeah, and PCI Express slots on the side of the board. Clearly generated with... The thing is, the VRM, it looks like it could be from like a tough board. ASUS tough board. But that stuff's so weird. Oh dear, yawning now. EPS is always the cable. I wish it was a bit longer. Yeah. I know what you mean. AI hand with like 6 fingers. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, multifunctional support bracket. So you've got a support bracket there, which can support the graphics, or you can use it to support another fan, or you can use it as a cover accent here for some reason, which actually in my instance might be quite useful because the board I'm thinking about using with this actually has got some silver accents on it, so it might work out. Dust filter, you've got big dust filters at the bottom, and the rest of it is basically a dust filter as well. So yeah, it's an interesting design. And there are the 4 color options, and there's the dimensions for those that are wondering. So 14, actually let me get a tape measure. I'm going to measure my PC behind me and see how that equates. So in terms of height, 17.3 inches. My current PC is almost 21 inches. So yeah, that is going to fit easily. In length, my current PC is 19 inches. That one is 19 inches, well 18.9, so give or take is the same thing. And in terms of depth, 9.5. And this one is closer to 10.5. So I can fit in basically the same as what I've got in my current PC into this case, and also a larger motherboard, but in a smaller form factor. That's quite impressive, due to just moving that power supply basement, because the power supply basement on most traditional cases is going to take up at least 4 inches in terms of its kind of height. So yeah, you can make a bigger PC in terms of internal diameters. That's pretty good. I quite like it. It's an interesting design. So let's get out of the box and take a look. If we can get flame off of the case. Hang on, I'm going to slurp some of my drink a minute. Watch out for the slurping. There's Otis trying to get in.
Back up. Back up, back up.
Flaming.
You have to get back a bit, Oak, so I'll knock you off the window, mate.
Sorry, Dave. Has this got any stickers on to say where... Yeah. No, it hasn't got my address on there, has it? No. Did I rip it off already, or did you?
You did, I think.
Did I? Yeah, I think I did. Right, so in terms of packaging, Not the most elaborate, so just basically a brown cardboard box. Does have a little bit of stuff on there. Oh god, can't stop yawning.
So you compare it to the Synology.
Yeah, the Series 500 behind is what I've been comparing it to. Inside there's a little baggie with some instructions, so we'll have a little look at that. Other than that, it's just the case inside here, so let's get this out onto the floor and the cats can go back to sleep. Now I have actually been considering for quite a while now, a very long time, actually changing the PC in the background from a white case to a black case, because they get really off-white, and relatively, well, that one's been there for the best part of 2 years now, maybe even longer. If you have a look at the original review video for the Series 500, I basically, from the moment I got it, I have it in that position. It's actually quite lightweight. I was expecting it to be a lot heavier than it is. Sorry for all the unboxing noises. Well, you have to excuse it because that's what we do on the channel. Believe it or not. Right, if I turn it upside down. Your cats, you can have your box back now. What output am I on there? I can't see a thing. Let's rectify that. Oh, where's the bloody mouse gone? There it is. Right, let's see if I can I refresh that screen without destroying the thing? Yeah, that looks like it's working okay. Excellent. So, obviously it's not going to be any great surprise of what it looks like because we've just seen it in quite some depth. So in terms of actual logos and stuff, there's not really a great deal on here. So there's nothing really on the front other than you got your reset button, power button, you've got your two USBs and also USB Type-C.
The glass looks dirty, it's just...
It's got a protective film on the glass. Yeah, from the front side, so you've got the glass side panel, which I will attempt to remove from this precarious angle. So it's all toolless, so you just leave it out from the sides. Got some actually nice thick glass there. I think that's 4mm glass. So it feels yeah, pretty sturdy.
How would you judge the corner of those glass pieces in?
How would you what? How would you judge them?
Yeah.
What do you mean judge them?
Rolls Ballard said I don't like that corner showing through the glass. So where they met up together, the corners of the glass, I'm assuming.
What, there or?
Well, down there, yeah, where you had the other piece in. It's obvious.
Yeah.
You had the PC. Let me find it.
Oh, what? Because it goes over. Yeah, because that bit shows on the side.
Kind of, yeah. And the other
Yeah, they're not beveled edges. They're just flat edges. So yeah, there's a definite kind of line there. This bit comes out easy as well, so that just pops out.
The way you had it shown on the screen, it made it look worse.
So a little bit of branding on there. So you got geometric future there, and there's a little bit of their kind of swoop. So that's done on the kind of like that gloss on matte, so it just shows up a little bit. You got this mounting plate, which is on thumb screws, which have been done up super tight, as they always tend to be. Like I said, there is a couple of versions of this. So this is the version that comes with the 5 fans included. They are all 140mm. Does that screw come out all the way? Actually, no. I thought these screws for the bottom were going to come out all the way, but it looks like they might be captive ones. Oh no, they're not. So if you don't like the idea of this mounting platform, you don't have to use it. You can just put it to one side. It's actually quite weighty as well. Also, you can remove this support bracket as well, which I'm not sure actually how structural this is going to be. It's pretty well in there. I can't see the screen from this side, sorry. I'll have a look. Keith McAllister. Hi Mike Gaff. Built my son a PC with MSI B550 Tomahawk Wi-Fi and 17 XRD. The CPU died, but overclock has replaced it, no problem. Oh, sorry to hear that. That's never good, is it? If when a part dies. Now, was it user error? You can say so because they've already replaced it. So yeah, this support bracket. Not really sure why you'd want the support bracket in there. It doesn't really seem to achieve much.
Get rid of that same platform, it's a diving board.
The diving board's gone and that platform's gone, so that I think can be reused in that location. There's a little bit of a cable cutter. Oh yeah. So the cables come out through the side there. So that can go in there somehow. How does that fit on there? Apparently that can go on there somehow, but oh well. To be continued. So yeah, it's it feels very big, but also very small at the same time, because like the height, it's not very high at all. Up to a 420mm rad in the top, and actually, even with that all taken apart, it's still, sorry, that's moving on there. Oh, it's still moving on there. What's that? Oh no, it's just the back moving. So yeah, there is, if you try and bend that, that's pretty strong. So that's pretty nice. So you've got the fans are all included, so these are all reverse fans, and they're all 140mm as well. So lots of airflow. And again, if you decide to go with a 420 rad on the top, if you choose to go with one of the Geometric Future's own, obviously you can get matching fans. You can buy the fans separately as well. So if you want to go for that matching look, or alternatively, if you want to get it cheaper, you can buy it without any fans at all. And then you can put in your own choice of fans, which for some people might be preferable. If you want fans which have got a little bit more RGB rather than being solid like these. These are a little bit more discreet, I feel. But they've made it so you can buy it with or without. And the price difference without, it's actually pretty big. So this is, I think, £109 with the fans, or £79.99 without the fans. So yeah, it's a reasonable value, I think. And the fans are all daisy chainable as well, and they're all pre-daisy chained inside the box. So there's, in the back, there's just like two cables, one for RGB and one for PWM, which I need to look closer at that actually to see if there's any additional cables, because it would be quite nice to split the intake from the exhaust possibly, but I'll have a look at that. Yes, Kath?
Stephen and Anderson.
Stephen, you don't ship mouse pads to the US, I guess. They did. We don't ship them. They come from Technically Stable, but they used to do it. Maybe they don't at the moment. I got a feeling. Yeah, because they definitely ship to Canada. They do to they have done to America previously. If at the moment, I did look at a post earlier from Technically Stable, and they said they were out of the 400 by 900mm pads, so you have to pre-order them. So you might not be able to pre-order for the US.
Maybe it's because of all that.
It might be because of the tariff stuff. They might have stopped doing it. If you either drop me an email or drop them an email and just say like, what's the deal? Say you wanted to get one of the Mike's Unboxing ones, they might answer you quicker. But if not, I will reach out to them and see what the deal is for our US customers. Weird. Anyway. So yeah, it supports the... Actually, no, it doesn't support that, does it? I was thinking it doesn't support BTF. And actually, I know why now. Because of it's quite slim at the back, BTF boards need a little bit more depth to be able to actually get the connectors through. So I don't think it does support BTF. No, it doesn't appear to. What's the link for? Oh, geometric. What's that for? Go to site.
And do the fans block the bottom PCIe slots, or are they lower?
They're lower. Ooh, they do a Model O, which is a ultra compact 3-litre form factor for ITX with integrated 200 watt power supply. Model O Flamingo. That's pretty cool. I'll have to get back in touch with them and say, can you send me one of those, please? Right, what else? So yeah, power button, all that stuff's on the front there. Also a headphone jack. I quite like the fact that they got those connectors a little bit lower down rather than being on the top. That I think is a smart maneuver, especially for modern desktops. A bit more easy to access. Let's turn around and have a look at the back. So on the back, loads and loads of airflow potential. Also, you've got the PCIe bracket retention mechanism thing there, which you can take that whole thing out, rotate it around 90 degrees for your vertical mounted GPU pleasure. 140mm fan pre-installed, again extra ventilation at the top there, and I'm guessing, yeah, I don't know why I even consider that. Yes, of course, they must be removable PCI Express blanking plates, otherwise you wouldn't be able to do the old, what's it called, thingy, rotation. Oh, that screwdriver is useless for that. Let's grab the other screwdriver. I quite like the fact that they've made the screws easy to access from the outside as well. Yeah, so they are removable and replaceable PCI Express blanking plates. So yeah, you can take those out pretty easily, and they don't appear to have the age-old problem that you get with a lot of Lian Li cases, where they have the that twang. So when you even just like move near the PC, they start vibrating. If possible, Mike. Yeah, I will be doing that, don't you worry. I have got that fully in mind to do. Because I want to see what the fans look like. And I actually want to hear them. They're supposed to be very low noise. Rasher, AI says geometric vision models have got excellent thermal performance, good value, and but its pros are countered by significant cons. That's interesting. I would like to know what they are.
That's AI.
Yeah, that's AI for you. AI sucks. I hate AI. It has some uses, but not many. Well, actually, before we go around too far... Oh, okay, we might wait. Stephen Anderson's coming with a $10 super chat. Thank you very much. Where's my mouse gone? Gosh darn it. Oh, there we go. Let's give you a heart on there. Just wanted to support the channel by buying something, but here is a super chat. They can't stop me from this. Oh, bless you. Thank you very much, Stephen Anderson. Much appreciated, sir. Very kind of you. Cons related to tight wire management, limited power supply space, and minor build quality issues. It's a great choice for builders who prioritize looks and cooling. I do both of those things. I do like looks and I do like cooling. And if I can put both of them together, I am pleased. Power supply wise, I can't see it being too much of a problem, but we will cross that bridge when we come to it. Oh, that's what I was going to do, yeah. The filter on the bottom, nice big full-size plastic filter with nylon mesh. That is excellent and very, very easy to fit, and also very firmly in there as well. So that isn't going anywhere at all in a hurry. That's nice.
You hate that, don't
No,
you?
you just hate people giving super chats. You want me to remove their message?
I don't mind. They've really got to get on at me.
You're a horrible person.
By telling you to...
Kath says I got to clear that message off the screen. Sorry. There you go.
It's It's on where you're showing now.
Oh yeah, that's true. Sorry, right, let's do it again. There you go. There's the filter, in and out, nice and easy.
I don't mind it staying there, it's not in the way.
And obviously, yeah, you don't need to, well, you probably might need to tilt the PC slightly over to get to it, to give yourself a slightly more fighting chance, maybe. I don't know. No, that's all right. It's got a really nice clicky clacky sound to it as well, so you know it's actually in there.
Can you get these cases in the US yet?
Apparently they were available in the US first,
Find it on Amazon.
from what I can gather, but maybe not.
Maybe it's on-
Maybe it's because,
on Amazon.
yeah, apparently capsules are on Amazon. I thought they were in the US first.
Links are in our video description.
And the, what should we do next? Let's do the side panel. So side panel, same deal. Again, mesh top and bottom. Little bit of a logo on there, Geometric Future. Pretty discreet, I think, and being that it's on the back of the case, realistically, no one's going to see it. And it's reasonably porous, not too bad at all. It feels like it's got a slightly concave nature to it, but I'm not sure. Let's put that to one side. So, taking a look in the back here. Oh, one of those have fallen out already. Or is that a spare? I can't tell. So it's held in with those little plastic clips.
Reality.
There's one there and one there.
I would probably buy one of those.
Thank you, Viali.
That's quite a...
Right, I'm having a look at this now. 1, 2. Yeah, there's only 2 of those, so where has that one come from? It's fallen out of something. I don't know what. Those all look like they're in place. So anyway, you get spares. They're included. So the power supply, you have plugged in, like in this section, and there's a pass-through cable that goes out through to the back. So you don't have to worry too much about that. Your cables from the front panel I/O, so you've got your USB 3.0, 2 Type A ports. You also got your front panel connections in a split format, which is a little bit unusual. Normally they tend to be block connectors these days, but not the end of the world. You've also got your USB Type C in there as well. So yeah, that's handy. 2 more drive bays here. So for 2.5-inch drives, you can put them in there. I don't think there's an option for 3.5-inch drive anywhere. Potentially. I've seen one. So you've got your fan mountings there as well. So you can put a couple of fans in there to blow through, if I don't know why you would want to, but that seems like a bit of a strange one.
Do you fancy doing a Back to the Future build?
Not really. Back to the Future builds are a pain. They look amazing, but trying to get a graphics card which is BTF and not got some sort of stupid power connector is really, really awkward. In general, BTF stuff I do like a lot, but at the moment there's too many different styles and ways of doing it, and it's also quite restrictive. So if you buy a BTF motherboard, you then have no choice but to get a BTF case. And although there's quite a few on the market, not all of them are, as obviously we're seeing here. So yeah, BTF is nice, but it's also a little bit of a pain as well. I probably will do one at some point.
You have done one of them.
I've done a couple actually, yeah. I do like doing them. It's just it's always like I had the Asus TUF BTF, and I had the TUF BTF graphics card, and I had that in my Series 330, and it was a great setup. It looked so clean, it was unbelievable. But then the graphics card was BTF only, so I couldn't put that in any other computer, and it felt weird putting a non-BTF card in there. So it kind of got to the point where I was just stuck. I couldn't really upgrade or do anything to it. It was just like, it was almost like owning a Mac. It's like, there's your PC, just use it. I know I could have taken it all out if I wanted to, and I ended up selling it. Mainly because I got offered a decent amount of money for it, but also because it was proving to be a little bit restrictive. It looked amazing, and it performed really well, but yeah, it was a little bit restrictive for my particular needs. If I just wanted a nice PC and I was just going to use it until it died, then I would probably go with a BTF because they do look very, very slick. What else we got here? So yeah, got your exhaust fan, well, sorry, intake fan there, as it would be. So that's pulling inward. Again, all daisy chain together. And actually, there's the daisy chain end there. And let's have a look at the cabling and see what is actually existing in here. And try not to actually snip a cable. So yeah, all those cables kind of terminate into, what have we got here? I've got a sneaking suspicion it is 2 lots of cables. So yeah, you've got one cable coming from the back, which is for the exhaust fan, which also has pass-throughs on as well, should you want to do that. So you've got control over the exhaust. All the ones on the bottom deck there, and the intake, so those 4, they've all been daisy chained together as one. So that's nice actually, the fact that they've given you the option. So if you wanted to, you can just disconnect the daisy chain and you could daisy chain them all together. I probably wouldn't, because I do like to have the intake set nice and low speed, and then maybe have the exhaust to kind of ramp up with the CPU or something. But yeah, whatever.
Boba Fett or shelf.
Oh yeah, put the Boba Fett on the shelf.
Boba.
Yeah, Boba, whatever.
I don't know. No,
I don't know nothing. So anyway, yeah, that's good that they've decided to do that. They could have done it the other way round.
Is that intake fan reverse blade?
Yes, it is. Yeah, intake fan there is reverse blade. The 3 on the bottom are also reverse blade, and the one on the rear is a traditional airflow. So they've included the kind of the sensible solutions, I think personally.
Model 6 and Model 8 have Thermaltake CTE pipes.
Right, I've not seen those yet. Yeah, I think that is pretty much it for that section. So let's have a look at the bottom, although we've pretty much seen it anyway. So you've got the feet there, big wide feet, which raise it up off the ground a little bit. Got that removable filter. Also, you can see the fans there in the reverse blade, ready to pull in a bunch of air. There are the 140s. You can put 120s in there, and you can put radiators in there as well if you wanted to. If you're going for a open loop system, you won't want to do it in a closed loop because it would just be horrendous for the pump. Looking at the top, so the top section is just more mesh, as you kind of expect. You lift this top at the back and then pull it off. That's actually nicely made, nice and thick metal. And again, loads and loads of airflow potential for the 420 rad at the top, or 3 fans, 4 fans, whatever you want to do. And also there is a screw there, which, actually, what does that remove? I don't know what this does. I've just undone it. Oh, actually there's 2 screws. Ah, does that? No. What does that do? What did that do? What has happened here? I've undone something, but I don't know what I've done. Does that come out? Ah, right, yeah, it looks like, I think, the power supply shroud. Does that come out? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, there's a power supply shroud, so you put that around your power supply, and then you can then just put it in, and then screw that up, which seems a bit... Can you... Oh yeah, I know why they've done that, because you can't actually get to the screws from the top otherwise. So that does make actual sense.
All these cases have the PSU mounted at the front instead of the chamber.
Oh, well, all of their cases?
I assume. Must be cold in Bristol tonight.
It's not. I'm actually getting a bit sweaty, but I haven't had a chance to take my coat off yet. I'll have to stop for a drink and take my coat off in a minute. Now, have I put that back in the wrong place? No, that's okay. I just didn't want to go straight in. So yeah, power supply wise, your power supply gets suspended, kind of hanging down, pulling cool air straight in there and then straight out the top. So that is going to be isolating some of the potential problems that you get with other systems where you're kind of recircling heat or you're preventing air from getting into your power supply. I don't like it when cases, especially some of the recent Lian Li ones, where they've had the power supplies in the basement section and the feet haven't been particularly big on the case. So it does make you a little bit concerned for cooler air getting into the power supply. So I think the next thing we should do is to actually put a power supply in. I think that makes a lot of sense. And to highlight the cabling, why don't we use the Gigabyte one from earlier on? Because that is basically a kind of cheap and cheerful budget power supply which kind of anybody can buy. And if this fits, then anything should fit, I would say. And also this has got a bunch of wires, which I would say that this case layout and design would probably be more suited towards a semi-modular, because you don't really want to be stashing all those extra cables in. But having said that, if we try it with as many cables as physically possible, or at least in this particular instance, as many as we can put in, that's going to be a good kind of indicator if somebody wanted to use a cheaper power supply. Why do people still use these bags and not reusable plastic, like druggy bags? They make druggy bags for a reason, because they're easy to reuse. We should all be using druggy bags. Not for drugs, obviously. Drugs bad, okay? Right, one power supply. So let's take out our mounting bracket. Oh, I forgot how much I detest fully captive PSUs. I don't. I'm just joking.
I don't like people who take drugs. For example, airport security.
Good one. Right.
Paper bag, even better.
Yeah. I do actually. I was frustrated this week when I was doing that review for the Thermaltake power supply. All of the bits for the different sockets are all in those non-resealable bags. It's just like, come on, guys, give me a break. It's so much nicer when you've got a reusable bag, especially like if you're someone who does swap systems, or maybe you're looking at swapping a system in like a year's time or something. You're never going to remember what the screws are for, are you? Then you've got to dig out the instructions, and it's such a faff. But if you've got the bags which are resealable with all the part numbers and model numbers and like letters or whatever they are on them, it just makes life so much easier. That's just my little moan. But I think that should be a thing. Anything which comes with like loads of screws or different options for fitting, they should come in resealable bags and clearly written. Sky saying, Mike is just saying what we all think, fully captive cables suck, but you never lose the cables. That's true, you don't ever lose the cables. I've got a couple of cables in my cable drawer and they are for a power supply, and I have no idea what power supply they're from, and I don't want to throw them out, but I don't know what they're for. And you should never ever use power supply cables if you don't 100% know what they're from, because not all power supplies are built equally, and you can end up with yes, well, bad times, let's say. Right, so how does that...
I just use Ziploc bags for parts.
That was easier. Yeah, Kath's actually got some Ziploc bags in the kitchen, which I quite often raid.
No, that's druggy bags.
Oh yeah, sorry, they are druggy bags.
That's different.
Yeah, Ziploc is...
Really got that little thing along the top.
yeah. They're kind of like that. They're the snap together ones.
They're too expensive for us.
So, there we go.
Cheapskates.
There's the power supply installed. Can you all see that okay? Are we on a decent enough angle? I deliberately wanted to use this as it's a very bright power supply. So the theory is that these cables should then pass through this inside. And we'll pull that along there. And the top of the motherboard is approximately there. So, yeah. even if your motherboard, well, actually, I'll put it in the right place of where the motherboard would be. Oh, let's twist that round. So the EPS connector is going to be roughly there. So yeah, if you wanted to take it up there, it might be a little bit on the shorter side, but realistically, yeah, that appears, from what I can tell, to be absolutely fine. If you want to put the fans in there, you still could do, I think, just about, maybe not. I wouldn't put the fans in there. That seems like a daft idea. But yeah, that is going to be an absolute piece of cake. Yeah, fitting them all the cables in the back here might be the bigger challenge, possibly. Let's undo this little section here. So these are the kind of the motherboard connections, as you well know. Yeah, that's going to go along there easily.
I bought a screw box from cheap hardware shop for £2
for storing the bits in.
Case I'm selling to put spare screws in.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I got some of those on the floor, which I use for bits and pieces, but they were like super cheap. I got them off eBay, and a little bit on the fragile side.
But you're talking about like
Compartment ones,
stuff, aren't you?
yeah.
But you want to keep it all separated, so those boxes aren't quite as.
Is it going to go through there? Right, yeah, we might have hit our first snag. Oh, actually, I know why. There's a bloody great cable tie in the way. Dun, 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 dun.
And that cable tie in the way.
Yeah. Actually, no, that is a bit of a nose getting that through there, to be fair.
For me, this is the best case you have had in review.
It's kind of, oh yeah, it does go through. It's a nice case, actually. I quite like it. I think it's going to be a little bit more challenging for cable management when you come to do it.
Room for cable management is tight on this case.
Oh, this power supply isn't the nicest cables either.
You should have been a gynecologist.
I should have been.
They've got it through there.
It's like something's twisted there. Oh, there we go.
Maybe put cable through before mounting it.
Yeah, that might have been easier. So yeah, that's going to be fine because your power supply, that's going to come up through there. So that's going to pass through there. So yeah, you can put all of those cables and pass them, almost tuck them under there. So yeah, that's going to be fine. And the ones for the GPU, yeah, PCI Express. Depending where you put your graphics card, you might want to kind of take those through the bottom there and then through to the other side. Yeah, it's it'd be one of those kind of almost, not like a suitcase style job, but it would be a case of like when you've got everything in there, it probably would be easier when you're doing your cable management just to lean it on its side and yeah, just kind of work out where all of your cables are going.
Do that on that one that looked like a suitcase.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You can also bunch up some of the cables in thereafter, like the SATA ones if you didn't want to use them.
It is going to be very tight. Never going to get any cable extenders in there.
No, cable extenders you would probably, well, I'd never say never, but yeah, if you do cable extenders, it's going to be taking up a bit more room. In terms of cable management depth, there is actually a bit more depth than you would otherwise think. So cable management depth is about 30 mil. So that is, what's that, 1.25 inches? Right there. So there is a reasonable amount of depth there, but you might find you're going to be laying cables over the top of each other. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. Like obviously this is going to be a worst case scenario because half of these cables you're never going to use anyway. Like the SATA ones, yeah, realistically you're probably never going to use those.
bad boy.
Right, let's. I think we should get this fired up, shouldn't we? And actually see what they look like and see what the fountains sound like, if we can.
Mike, did you see?
Mike, did you see? Mike, did you see Nvidia Shield 4K Pro I got for 40 quid? I didn't, no. Well, I think I did actually, but I didn't realise it was you that got it. You have a different name on the Discord. That's what confuses me. I'm easily confused. Right, I should have plugged in the power for this as well, shouldn't I, really? That would be pretty useful. Oh no, it's at the top, isn't it? Yeah. Actually, that's a thought. How do you actually plug in the power supply? Sure. No, well, there is, but there isn't as well. So that's got to go. Hey, I am genuinely a bit stumped now.
But if you put the power supply, can you put it in a different way?
Well, the power supply can only physically go in one way. But how do I actually get the power supply cable into the power supply?
So you can't twist it around.
Because it's physically not long enough. I smell burning. Keith McAllister has become a supporter. Thank you for supporting the channel, Keith. Much appreciated. Happy days. Thank you for supporting the channel. I don't know how this cable goes in. I might have to actually look in the instructions, which I bet there are those QR instructions. Hopefully not.
QR is the son of the devil.
I know. It's actually a proper manual. Right. Power supply. Power supply. Praise the Lord for power supply manuals. Typically, it doesn't show you the power supply.
Does it not?
I don't think so. I just had a quick perusal. So the mesh version, apparently, you can kind of either upgrade or switch this to either version. So you can buy the mesh panel and the fan attachment separately, which bolts onto this chassis.
No right angle cable with the case.
There is a right angle cable, but I'm trying to see how it actually routes through. It doesn't actually show you on here. It shows you how to put the power supply into the case, but not how to actually physically get power to said case, to the thing. It's probably going to be a good idea if I actually give you an overhead look so you can see what I can see. Can you see what I see? Let's get some more light on there.
Where does the cable go in? The top bit?
Yeah, in the top.
So you're going to just have a cable hanging at the top?
Well, in theory, this cable should go somewhere. Well, it's only got so much length on it. And you would expect there to be a hole somewhere here to get that in there, but there doesn't appear to be. And there's no hole there. The nearest hole is down there. So I don't know. Maybe that's got to go in a different way then. Let's put that through there. Yeah, because even with it through there, that's where it comes through. So that's the power supply input there. Because I was thinking, oh, that's all right, that's easy. You just pass it through there and plug it in there. But that doesn't work because it's not long enough. And it doesn't appear there's another hole.
But can you not put it through there before you put the power supply in?
Well, no, that's the thing, because the power supply shield or the surround, there's like a pass-through on this side. Let me take the power supply back out again. And you can see what I can see almost. So you push the power supply over that way, and then it kind of falls on the floor.
Guys, it looks like you have to plug it in when you mount the PSU in the case.
So the only pass through here is there. And it does look like this side is a little bit lower. So you'd think it would go in kind of like that. It's in the on position already. But then, do you know what I mean? It's there's no hole there other than there. That's the only method of getting in there.
Where's the hole?
Unless it goes in through the top.
The thing on the top. Where's the hole?
The hole's there, down there.
I know, but I can't see because you keep putting the power supply over the top of it.
Well, no, you're not fast forwarded, are you? I lift it up. So that's the hole there. So if you pass it through there, that could kind of work. But it almost feels like it wants to go over the top. So like up through here. But then that seems like a really bad idea. So like that would kind of work. But that feels a little bit janky. So where was that before? I'm going to pass that through.
Can't you pass it through that hole and then up the side and then into the slot?
It won't go around the outside of the power supply. It's not physically long enough. So you'd have to drop through, then down, then around, then back up. So yeah, the only way...
Put the power supply in, just turn it round the other way so the power...
I'm pretty sure it's got to go in there. I'm pretty sure it's got to go in that way.
What goes on the top of that bit?
Just the grill. The let's see if that is it. Right, that's locked in. So yeah, that would go in there. Where's the top? Let's see if that still fits. So yeah, I think that is the only real way of doing it.
So there's not room for that?
Because if you flip around now, with that in place, you can see there's no way that you'd fit a cable through anywhere else.
Can't you chisel a bit of that black surround bit on the top of that?
No, you don't chisel anything because that is not what you do with a case. That would.
Well, it's not the case, is it? It's only a surround fitting on top of the...
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to do that. That shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, but if you wanted it to look nice, couldn't you just shovel that off and then put your wire through and then it stick up inside of there?
I think that's the way it's got to be.
I'm sure chisel isn't the right word, but you know.
I can't think of any other means of getting that up there or in there. And actually, no, if you did that, you wouldn't be able to put in. Actually, gone. I'm just wondering if that would actually prevent you from installing a radiator in the top, which I don't think it would.
Manual says use hole beside it. Manual page 9.
Use hole beside it. Manual page 9. Let's have a look then. I ain't got a manual. Well, I have got a manual, but I ain't got...
John says that's right, mate.
Oh, what? Oh, I've got it now. Page 9.
Right, that is how the manual shows it.
What, as I've got it now?
I don't know.
So there's the manual. I don't know whether you're going to be able to see that at all. So there's the bracket. And there's the bracket onto the power supply. The power supply has got the input on that side. So that is that side. But as you can see, it doesn't show the actual cable going in at all in anywhere. So is that what they're saying? Manual.
Manuel. Viali says it does show it. Look closely, it shows the wire. You can't look closely, let me see. It till I darken it up.
Go on, you have a look. I can't see a wire on there, can you? Kath's having a look now. Let's get rid of this sticker.
Yeah, it shows the wire on the top of the case.
Where?
There.
But where's it going through? I can't see that.
Well, it's coming out that hole you pulled it out of and going into the hole you pushed it into. See it there?
No, not really.
Shut up. It's like a wire. It comes up through this second hole and down through that hole where the power supply screws into.
Yeah, so it does just loop over. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Christ almighty. Like, they'd at least coloured it differently to say, oh, look, there's your frickin'... Right, where's my pen?
Do you want me to colour it in?
I'm going to, yeah, colour it in.
I got a nice...
But colour in so it doesn't bleed through the paper, because it's probably that recycled shite.
Pencil.
Okay. Right, I think we've worked it out, so that is correct. So take the back panel off. Yeah, the cable goes from the back there, runs over the top of there and into your power supply. Which makes sense, that's the only way it could go, but I was just assuming that there would be a kind of a nicer way of doing it. Because it seems odd having all these holes here for something and not really making any use of it. Well, yeah, that is, I think that is going to be my first bone of contention of the whole thing, that the instructions, albeit okay, aren't idiot proof as we've just described and shown. No, that's got too much of a bend now. Oh, what's going on? I could have been... Why am I doing this? I could be watching James Bond movies all night.
Dave.
With Dave. Dave likes a James Bond movie. So yeah, that's... Yeah, I'm not really keen on that. It's...
If you keep still, you're putting off my drawing.
I'm going to move that back and put that back through. Now, realistically, you're probably never going to see this cable anyway, but it is kind of annoying. Because they've got it in the manual going more like this.
Manuel.
In the manual. Which does fit a bit better, but it also gets in the way of the fans.
Leave it on my own desk, right? It's a bit better.
Nick Barnes says, I've just binged Skyfall, Spectre, and No Time to Die, tearfully. Yeah, I just watched, oh, what was the first one? Casino Royale. Then I watched Quantum of Solace. And then somehow they fast forwarded me on to the last one. I was doing the same thing.
We had a Snapchat memory, didn't we? Of you watching Dave this
I think the stream is about to crash. Let me have a look at my memory usage. Oh, yeah, because the fans have just ramped up a bit. Let's close those. Oh well. Viali Wonder says, they are okay, Mike. You need some glasses. I don't need glasses. Well, I do need glasses.
Me too.
But there we go. Kath's now coloured it in, so you can actually see the cable now.
And the plug on the end. Can you see the plug on the end now?
And the plug, yeah, well done. So yeah, you can see it going through. If it wasn't highlighted there, you would never see it, would you?
No, because I just made that up in my mind and coloured it in.
There you go. Yeah, it's easy to miss. I find it easy to miss. Thanks, Gav. Thanks, Viali. Thanks, everybody. You bastards. Dave the Cat likes 007. Yeah, Dave actually likes Quantum of... no, he likes Casino Royale. That was his favourite. He's very keen on that. He particularly likes the fight scene where James Bond is fighting the warlords in the hotel stairway.
Show it.
There's the picture. Is that going to stay on there?
Yeah, it'll just keep going looping.
There is me and Dave.
That was from a year ago.
Watching it. That was this time last year. There's Dave on my lap. We're watching it. He likes that. And yeah, bizarrely, Kath sent me that and it's like, yeah, but that's exactly what I did last night. So me and Dave did exactly the same thing, watching exactly the same movie on exactly the same day, 1 year later.
Oh, actually, was it playing? I don't think it played, did it?
It did play a little bit, yeah. So yeah, it was quite a strange occurrence. Dave likes his comfort. He does. He just sees me as a big fat pillow. He's horrible to me.
Yeah, because me, he's horrible to you. Hand wash the bloodstains out of me. Jeez,
All right, let's move some of this crap out of the way, and let's fire the power supply up and let's actually have a look at the fans, of which I will need some form of fan controller, which I've got here somewhere. He says. Actually, let me clear.
Jan says look online at 500% for the manual.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. No doubt someone else somewhere is going to have the same problem as me. Right, where's my fan controller? I've got one here somewhere, I'm sure of it. Ah, there we go. Right, and a power cable, that would be useful. Oh, come on. How can I not have a power cable? I've just made up about 30 of the bloody things. There we go. I had a bit of a binge day and made up a load of PC power cables. Bought a load of plug tops off of Amazon and converted all my American and other ones. Normal camera now, Mike. There you go. It doesn't matter because I'm going to plug something in now, so we're going to lose the signal anyway.
Well, you can't see you jump.
Yeah, true. Okie dokie. Right. I need things, don't I? I need the power supply jumper, which I haven't used in ages. Where is that? There. Got my power supply jumper. Nice coat. Who's a jacket? Right, where is that gone? Let's plug that in over by there. Sorry, I'm going full on Welsh at the moment. Oh. Shit myself, haven't you? Where is that off of? That must have been off of that. Right, we're going to use our GameMax controller because obviously we don't have a motherboard. Actually, what do we normally do when we don't have a motherboard? We plug it into there, don't we? But I haven't set the fans up, so this will have to do. Because I've been messing around with the fans this week for my sins. Right, bear with me a second. I'm just going to plug in some of these. Where is port number 1? There we go.
Special and pricey case. How much was it? I think somebody asked earlier.
This one?
Yeah.
$79.99 without the fans, or I think it's $109 with the fans. So it's not like pricey. Considering how different it is, and actually the build quality seems to be really good. That was one of the things that the AI apparently said wasn't great. But I would say that the build quality actually, the actual, the layout of it, I would say is probably not as good as I would have hoped. But to fit all that into such a small form factor, I guess there are some things which, like, how many cases do you know that you can put a 420 rad into? Easily. There ain't many.
Don't forget to turn the power supply on.
Yeah. These don't feel like they're going in very well. think I remember now why I'd stopped using GameMax hubs. So a bit shit.
3 fans are £50 on Amazon, so cheaper to buy case with fans if any good.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Sorry, excuse my French. I just bent the controller and the fan port. Damn it. Right, let's definitely not do that again because that was stupid. Ah, that's better. Right, what does this require? SATA. Oh look, we got loads of SATA cables. That's handy. And all we need to do is plug this in now and we should be off to the races.
Bang!
For fuck's sake, don't do that. Idiot. Oh dear.
It's not done, babe.
It doesn't.
If I don't.
Right, oh, this one hasn't got fan control, has it? Yeah. Stupidly, I chose the one with the, this hasn't actually got fan control on it. It's got a pass-through, so I can't actually... All right, tell a light, and I can. The sound of silence, or is that stopping them? I think they're going to stop. They're going to stop. Come on, speed number 1. They're quite cool. Christ, they're moving a lot of air. Oi, stop it, knobhead. She's breaking my stuff. Oh, now you've turned mine off altogether. What have you done that for? Right, stop it. Stop it. Right, there we go. We got some rainbow puke going on. It's working. Something's vibrating. Or is it just the fans are not... I think the fans are almost at the too low a point. The controller doesn't like it very much, so... Put them up 1 speed more. There we go. Yeah, that's kind of pretty. And thank you, Rasher. He sent 5 Mike's Unboxing reviews on how to gift memberships. Much appreciated. One of which went to Wayne Taylor. One went to Danny. One went to Alexander, or Alexandre, JRP, and also Andrew. Thank you very much, Rasher. O'Reilly. Mike really jumped then. I did. She always does that to me. Despicable. Anyway, there you go. There's some illumination. And that is actually moving. You got any tissue paper? Oh, I got tissue paper. I don't think this is actually going to be particularly lightweight, but... Well. Yeah, it's got its own little hurricane going on there.
If you put the bog roller right where he's showing it, you put it right in there. Roll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was moving quite a decent amount of air. I do amuse myself sometimes. Yeah, those fans have got a bit of kick to them as well. See what they're like with a bit of less restriction. Cool, yeah, that's even bigger. Use talc. That'll go everywhere. Mike, do you need to change your undies? No, they're alright at the moment. James Bond, look at Discord. Wait, what's happened? Yeah, that's pretty good. Ow. Ow. Yeah, they're spinning at quite a rate. And that one on the back. Yeah. Those are passing through a fair amount of airflow. There you go, nice static. Well, that's supposed to be white. I'm not sure how it's coming across on camera, but that is supposed to be white. To me, it looks a slightly bluish white. Actually, no, on the camera, it actually looks more like a normal white. There is some vibrations somewhere. I can't work out where it's coming from. Ow.
There you go.
Arm burn.
Bond, James Bond, and dog South Russell, Jack Russell.
I'll tell you what, the power supply is bloody quiet, which is nice. So yeah, I think it's that's kind of nice. And also, the thing I do like as well is the fact that there's an absolute ton of room between the top of the motherboard and any cooling solution. So if you put an AIO in there, there's going to be an absolute ton of room. You've got about 75 millimeters between the top of the case and your motherboard. So if you say most AIOs are about 27 mil plus 25 mil for the fan, so what's that? 52? 62? No, 52. 53. There's a lot of room. Yeah, the fans are doing something bizarre, and I'm not sure why. Let me, I need my other controller, I think. I stupidly got the Game Max one, but then forgot that it's got like a ridiculously high low setting, if that makes sense. Where is my thing?
Could it be the PSU is vibrating on the case?
No, it's the PSU is actually really quiet. It sounds like it's the PWM motor in the fans, not like in the power. Actually, if I unplug them, that'd give us a clue, wouldn't it? Yeah, so now it's just that back one. I don't know why it's going so fast. So low speed, setting 1. Yeah, it's like the speed setting on this controller is absolutely pointless.
Probably hit the max on that PSU.
Oh, that's good. That is very good. I like that. Hit the max on the PSU. The PSU's overloaded. It can't take no more. Oh dear. Hey, as always, it's not my fault. It's one of those hashtag blame Dave moments. Right. That's better. I've now got it plugged into the proper PWM controller from Noctua. And yeah, now all I can hear is the PSU. Let's turn those up. Yeah, if you put these up to 100%, which I've just done, you can hear them making a lot more airflow and noise, but it's not such a weird noise. I think that controller was doing something bizarre. So let's put it down to approximately, hang on, that's 100, so that must be, that's about 50%, which still a reasonable amount of noise considering. It's down to about 40, like 30. So yeah, I'd probably run them about there, about 30%. It's still moving an actual lot of air. What's the lowest we can go without them stopping? Yeah, at the lowest speed, they're still moving like quite a lot of air. But they are absolutely silent. Just about hear a very slight whisper of air. And actually, considering their reverse blade fans always make more noise, it's just one of those things. There's not a lot you can do about it. It's because of this, like, it's almost like it's fighting very nature. Yeah. If you think about it and you consider how expensive cases are these days, I think that like £109 with the fans isn't actually too much to ask for this. I think it's actually, I wouldn't say it's cheap, but I would say it's reasonable. And I've seen a lot worse on the market for a lot more. And you think 5 140mm ARGB fans, even if you got the cheapest possible brand on the market, which is probably going to be something like, I don't know, like a Game Max, or it wouldn't be a Thermaltake, because I don't think Thermaltake do them. Say, for instance, these are probably on par with maybe Arctic P14s, possibly, P14 ARGBs. And those, even when they're at their lowest price, are normally about 12 quid each. So even if you say 3 fans, we'll say they're cheaper than that. So we'll say they're 10 quid each. So 5 fans at 10 quid, that's 50 quid worth of fans. If you then say, well, the case is worth, I don't know, 70, that takes you about 120. So it's 109 with the fans. So yeah, I don't think it's too bad. I think in terms of the value proposition, it's pretty much bang on. I like it purely because of the fact that you can fit a lot of stuff in here. And also you've got that GPU bracket, which is kind of nice, integrated there. The power supply basement, I have mixed feelings on that, but I think with a modular power supply, that's going to be absolutely fine. Yeah, it's an interesting and different design, which in the modern age of computing is something you don't really see. They've kind of taken the kind of the fish tank case and the dual chamber case and kind of squished them together. And I quite like the power supply basement idea. And it's really nice solid metal as well. It's not like they just put it together with any old flimsy shit. Yeah, I think it's a pretty nice case overall. But I think it's going to be very polarizing. I think there's going to be people that absolutely hate it, and there's going to be people that absolutely love it. As with most things in the world these days, depending on your beliefs, your political affiliations, your anything, there's always almost like a 50-50 split right down the middle in a very strange way. So yeah, let's see, what are you lot people thinking about it? Are the fans PWM or DC? They are PWM. Rasher's on form. The Grim Reaper came for me last night, but I managed to fend him off with a vacuum cleaner. Talk about dicing with death. That was good. Vianney says, I do like it a lot. Best case you've had. Not too cheap, not overly expensive. Nick Barnes says, I think this is a great design with good value and 5 fans included. O'Reilly says, flimsy, shit. Sky says, I'm not sure I like that style of RGB fans. Might like standard RGB instead. Yeah, if I was going to buy this for myself, I would get the fanless version. 100% I'd get the fanless version. And I would probably put my own fans. I'm personally not a big fan of this kind of outer surround RGB. It's nice, but it also makes it a little bit more of a challenge when it comes to purchasing other parts. Because if you're putting a 360 or 420mm rad in here, realistically you're going to want the same fans, aren't you, to try and make it all look similar. So that is something which I'm glad that they've given you the option so you can have it either way, with or without fans. I think that was a sensible solution. Trying to get stuff to match isn't always easy. But then if you're buying this case without the fans for like 70, 80 quid, then you're going to have to buy arguably 5 fans at least, whether they're 120s or 140s. I think probably you could get away with 120s in here. I think that would be okay, and then have like a 360mm rad in the top. Then it's not going to be overly expensive. So a set of 5 fans from like Thermaltake, you're looking at 20-25 quid sometimes. So that's still keeping underneath, well, almost underneath, yeah, 100 quid roughly. But then for 109, you get it with these 5 fans. So yeah, it's a little bit of a dilemma in lots of different ways. Yeah, it's a shame it's not a little bit cheaper. In which case it'll be like, yeah, it's like, say for instance, it's £99 or it's 90 quid with the fans. You're like, yeah, that's it, I'm done, sorted. I'll just put in whatever else, I'm not too bothered. But I think once you start going over the £100 mark, you start getting into that territory where you're spending enough money that you just want it to look a certain way. Whereas if you're spending less than that, you can make some compromises. So it's slightly awkward in that situation where it does put you in that kind of weird price point where you could possibly get other options as well. So yeah, it's definitely a different design, 100% on that, and it's got its own unique challenges, as we've already seen. So I think that power supply is actually not the quietest. Let me get the microphone near it, see if you can hear it. And I'll have to speak. So I'll have to speak to Dave later. Just to that. Can you hear that? I can hear it. I do get annoyed by that. Something's going on with my AIO because the CPU heat is gradually climbing. I have set it down quite low, but anyway, I need to figure that stuff out. So let's take a second. Probably about to burn out, says Viali. Yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't leapt out flames yet. That would be the most likely thing to happen. That's very unkind. Too much local noise near me. So just looking at some of the comments in the chat, it's already started falling apart. Okay. Right, so my challenge now, for this case at £109 with those fans, what else is there on the market around about the same price or lower, which you would argue is a better choice to buy? Because that's kind of what I'm looking at. If there's something else in a similar price bracket, which is a clearly better contender, then please do let me know, because that is essentially what I'm looking at. Now I have got another case coming, or 2 cases coming actually, from Thermaltake, one of which is a little bit more expensive, £129. And there's another one coming which I think is just under 80. So it's going to be interesting to see how they work. Firephone says lower Montec. Yeah, but which one? I know Montec do a lot of cases. The trouble is with Montec cases is they are really good value for money, but they generally are shit build quality, and the fans just disintegrate on them very quickly. I bought quite a few of the Montec 903 Airs, and almost all of them had the RGB controller fail. And Dave had the same. He bought 10 of them for a project that he was doing, and most of his failed as well, I think. It's not the first. Well, we both experienced that. I've heard other people with it as well. Oops. So there are plenty of options, but yeah, that is often the trouble with case reviews, because when you review a case, you've had it for, I don't know, a short term, maybe a couple of weeks or whatever, but for a lot of cases, it's the longevity and the things that you learn to like or dislike as the case ages. Rasher says, I planned an orgy for my birthday party and everybody came. And once again, happy birthday to Welly Bob. He's probably asleep by now.
You need to sing it, I think.
He had a big old Indian for tea.
I fancy an Indian, actually.
Thing is, if I had an Indian, I'd just fall asleep.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
But not over like tea.
That's why I said to him at the time. I said, like, if I would love an Indian, but unfortunately, if I had that, I'd just want to sleep the rest of the evening away.
Although we've worked it out now, haven't we? We get a rice each and we share the main
Rice each, share a curry.
And it's perfect amount.
Happy day, job's a good one, as they say.
After going to Indy.
No, still here. Curry was good. Well done, Welly Bob. He's managed to stay with us. Right, where's my bot? Oh, God. I'm looking around and there's stuff everywhere. What a mess. Right, let's do the power supply in a minute because that's going to require some dexterity, I feel. Let's see if I can actually reassemble this without losing my mind. So yeah, if they're watching, which they probably won't be, but if Geometric Future are watching, thank you very much for sending over this case for us to take a look at. Hopefully I've not upset you too much. Not that I really care, because obviously it's reviews and unboxings aren't about pleasing people. They're about showing people what is available and just getting my personal feeling for it.
But if you want to say it out loud or not.
Sorry, just reading Rasher's comments there, which I don't think I'll read out, but he is on form tonight, Rasher, isn't he? Oh, stop talking about Indian food. I am hungry now. I was slumming it today. I had a couple of pot noodles. And you'd laugh. Well, you probably wouldn't laugh, actually. You'd probably be quite upset. But the pot noodles were out of date July 2022. And I'm pretty sure we probably bought them during COVID when it was like lockdowns and stuff. And we thought, well, we better stock up in case there's like a massive food shortage. And we bought loads of them. And they were at the back of Kath's wardrobe. It's like, oh, I don't know what to have for tea, so let's just have a pot noodle. But I did have two of them because I am a baller. I'm not messing around with this like single pot noodle nonsense. If you're going to go in for it, you've got to go large.
Think of that soy you've just had.
Yeah, I have had way too much soy now, so I will have things tomorrow that I don't want. Right, where did this go? Did that go that way round? I'm still not entirely convinced by this thing, you know. And where did the screws go? My advice is, if you get one of these, never take this bit off, because you'll never work out where it goes. Oh, have I found it? Yep. Oh, and that's going to scratch that, isn't it? There we go. So yeah, the platform you can push in as well, and you can slide it right out. So actually, let's put a bob on there. Does look a bit dwarfed in there. Actually, with some plain green lighting on there, that actually might be quite a nice little touch. But really, I guess it kind of needs to be something a little bit bigger. No? I'm fine. Let's wind that back in. Actually, even on its shortest stroke, you could probably get 2 in there and still have it not sticking out all the way. There was a time, and I'm not sure if there still is a time now, whether it's still a thing, where like that was very much in vogue, that people were doing that, put in like like ornaments or whatever inside the PCs. I don't think it's... Is it still quite a common thing? Do people still do it? I don't know. Let me know. Viali says, nah. Yeah, I don't think so really. It's
I think that's on there before you asked the question.
Oh, was it? And then this, of course, with this, there's like they put protective stuff around it on the corners, so most of that would be gone. You would peel that off. Yeah, is that where that one's missing from? No. That's weird. I found that little extra plastic bit inside the case, and yeah, I have no idea where it comes from. And the strange thing is, they actually include some spares in here as well. There's like 2 of the little plastic spares, but I can't see for the life of me anywhere inside here where there is one of those plastic bits missing. Because yeah, 1, 2. There's only a limited number that it can actually go into. There we go. We're all done. Oh bollocks! I knew I forgot something. I forgot to put the brackets back in. Don't forget your brolly. Yeah, I still don't really understand this support bracket or why it really exists. I think... Because which way around did it go? Oh yeah, that's right, you can use it as a fan bracket as well. Apparently there's somewhere down here you can put it, so you can add another fan. Like that's got fan hole things on the side. Very strange. I think that goes in down here somewhere. Yeah, little things like these brackets is a little bit of a brain ache. Ah, and I understand now. So when you put the bracket in, that bit needs to be fully extended, I think, to get the bracket back in. Yes, because that exposes then the screw mount. But I still don't understand why you would want it or why you would need it. Why do you exist? I really should have looked at this when I took it out to see how it goes back in or whatever. Oh, come on. Be nice. Why do these things happen? Right, that's going back in there. That's not coming out again. Did it fit in the bag? Yes, it does. Great. You can stay in there. You're doing very bad. You can stay in there. Always take a picture before disassembling. Yeah, it's strange really that they've made it like most case designs. They have it set up so that like most of it is like pretty obvious, and it can only go in. Some things only go in certain positions, and they physically won't go anywhere else. But I do feel with some of the things in here, like the bracket and also that power supply cable, it wasn't entirely obvious. And the thing is, like, I'm not an expert, but I've had quite a few years experience with PC cases in general, and also building PCs. So if I'm struggling to kind of work it out, I'm goddamn sure there's going to be someone else who is also going to be a little bit confused by it. And if it's not 100% sure, oh, there was their bloody address on the side. Damn it. Right, so we get the bag out and stick this away. Russell, you're Jack Russell. What was that on earlier? Oh yeah, the meme. Yeah. Sorry, it's been a long week. I keep on saying this every week. I think I'm like just slowly unraveling.
Reminded me of them bobbly head dogs people put in their car rear windows years ago. I had one on my dashboard.
Yeah.
Dog.
Kath used to have one on the car.
If anything was coming.
Does anything come in? Bobble, bobble, bobble.
And he will be right.
What happened to that car?
Nothing.
Did we scrap that car?
No, we sold it to your mate.
Oh, yeah.
Engine in an RS turbo or something.
That's true. Yeah.
It was totally fine. It just rusted out. Oh, did we sell the nodding dog with it?
Don't know. No, I'm pretty sure we took it out.
You still sell them at your work?
What, nodding dogs?
That's why I bought it, wasn't it?
No, you're silly.
It was?
No, we don't sell them. Don't be silly. Yeah, we did buy it though. Did you buy it?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have bought that, would I? I'd have probably said, what are you doing?
I bought it. You must have sold it to me. Mind your head.
Right, there are cats. You got your home back. Right now, let's get back to some sense of normality. So, Alessa says, I have lots of weird ideas. I once made a custom loop with junk parts, including a radiator from a Honda motorcycle. That sounds absolutely reasonable. That's the sort of thing I would do if I could be bothered. Most cases are standard. This one isn't. A couple of strands bits, strange bits. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. I quite like it. I'll be honest with you. I do quite like that case, and I will try and do a build on it. I'm not too sure when or what is going to be in it. I'm still undecided on what to do about the fans and possibly a radiator, because I think a case like that, if you're going to go with air cooler, it's going to leave a lot of gap at the top, and you'd still need to fill that room with fans anyway. So I think water cooling is a necessity. So I might have a look, see if there's a Thermaltake with the same sort of outside edge LEDs. I haven't seen those very often. The last time I think I saw it on a case, I'm trying to think of the brand, there was a case we did ages ago, a review on, and it was like one of those upside down cases. It was like a something 220, I think it was called. I can't think the brand. It was a brand that we don't often have on the channel.
Shall I look it up?
I can't think what it was. It was a back to front case, so everything was like 90 degrees inverted. But I think that had those sort of fans in it, if I remember rightly. Viali says a 420mm Be Quiet silent loop. Ah, Dutch Jan's got it. Yeah, the Sharkoon Rev 220. That's it. Yeah, I was thinking in the back of my mind it was Silverstone, but no, it was, yeah, Sharkoon. So yeah, Sharkoon Rev 220. I think that had those fans, if I remember correctly. Let's have a quick look and see if it did or not. Unless it's just my my brain calling synaptic strange firing. Oh no, it was just outer edge illumination, but I don't think they were. Yeah, they were just outer LED. They weren't that thin strip. So let's have a quick look and see what we can get for Thermaltake and see. I'm sure Thermaltake do one which is very similar looking to that, with the outside edge. 120. The trouble is they only do 120mm fans. I don't think they do any 140s. So let's have a quick shifty through. Something with outside edge illumination. And of course, if any of you find any with outside edge illumination similar to those ones, then do let me know, because that might save me a few hours of hunting.
Tears.
And tears. Right, I've run out of tears and fans. Closest I can get is the TLS 12s, which have got the outer rim, but also illuminated blades as well. I don't think that would quite look right. Let's see, actually, do they do a 140mm fan in Thermaltake? I don't think they do. Oh yeah, they do the TL range, the plain ones. Oh, actually, yeah, TLC 140s. So they have actually got some 140mm fans now. They didn't used to. So I thought that was the reason why they didn't do a 280mm rad. Interesting. Actually, it's got some quite nice looking ones. Anyway, I digress. So I think that is going to be pretty much it for tonight's episode of Mike's unboxing reviews and how to fumble through unboxing a case and chatting with your mates in a stream. See if there's any last minute questions, but I think we are pretty much done. I still can't see my screen properly. That's really annoying. Let's do pop out chat. Yeah. Now actually, I'll if I show you, well, you'll see my screen now. So go to stream desktop. So I've got two lots of chat running, but I can't see the screen, and I can't fast forward to where I'm supposed to be, and I can't see my stats which are over there unless I full screen the window. But then if I can't, I've got to have that on the side for the chat to be able to interact with it. But anyway, hopefully you understand. So Viali says, oh, I was enjoying that. Great case, Mike. Thank you, Viali. Much appreciated. Dutch Jan looks like he might have found some fans. Let's have a look. Oh, the Rev 100. I think we had the Rev 100 as well at one point. Yeah, it's got those fans with the kind of the outer edge illumination, but it's a little bit chunkier. But anyway, yeah, I think that is going to be pretty much it. So thanks as always for stopping by and sharing your Saturday evening with us. As always, thank you for your support, your financial contributions, your chat contributions, your comments, sharing videos, etc. It's all massively appreciated. Thanks for all the ideas that you lot send us as well for ideas of things to review. It is much appreciated. And also somebody sent something this week and I wasn't expecting it, and I didn't thank them, I think, possibly. I don't know. It all seems to go by in a blur. It's been mad. Anyway, I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To. You lot have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and we'll catch you in the next video on Monday, or we'll see you in the stream same time, same place next week at around about 8:15, possibly. Thanks everybody, take care, and we'll see you next week. Cheerio! Bye! Do you want to end stream? Yes, that's why I clicked on end stream. Night everybody.